into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, good morning, you beauties. Welcome to it. Thank you so much for choosing to start your day with us. Likewise, you, mister. I know you didn't have a choice. You had to come in, but oh, it's so good to be in your company.
It really is, and another dose of magic coming right at you for the next 3 hours, and I'm excited to be at the helm with this absolute gent and serve you this morning as we are joined by Springbok women's team ahead of their tour season. Yes, we're talking about the Springbok women's rugby team, and what a perfect way to usher in International Women's Day happening tomorrow.
And this, I think, based on what we saw last year, this year is going to be the biggest year for women's sport, bar none, in the world. Man. But certainly for South Africa, I think our ladies in so many different sporting codes at the center of the best stuff that's happening. And then we're about to find out what it takes to be a Springbok team player as well, from catching up with them, obviously being on the field, to breaking a little sweat alongside them. We've even got a protein-powered recipe lined up in the kitchen.
Oh.
We'll put back in what they take from you,
We're going to need
tax.
to. I think they're going to definitely put me through my paces, and you can join along too, Mzansi. So come and have some fun with us. Get off the couch, get inspired. And if that isn't inspiring you enough, then we're going to bring things even bigger, better, stronger to the forefront right now, because we are preparing the brave cyclists ahead of the Cape Town Cycle Tour happening this Sunday. Wow, the next few days are absolutely jam-packed, and this is going to be all about how to stay hydrated, stretch routines, and everything before the long ride. So we're going to be working this morning,
And
man.
just be nice to the cyclists.
Yes,
I know there's a lot of them out there at the moment, okay? Just be nice,
Yeah.
keep your distance.
Keep wider from the rider.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big weekend, and it's a massive community that are there to really support the mother city through that process. So show them some love. Then, of course, finally entertaining us in studio is the one and only Kyle Deitch. It's been an age that we've connected with this incredible guy. What's happening in this young man's, I say young man, because he is still so young. What's happening in his world, and he'll be up in Joburg with Zanele. Cannot wait to connect with him.
Yeah, it's going to be a jam-packed morning, as you heard. So, Mzansi, sit back, sit tight, buckle up and get ready, because it's just going to be magic. And speaking of, let's get to Joburg and get a dose of that magic right now.
Good morning, Cape Town. Futike, Dumelang, Molweni, Avsheni, and goeiemorgen to you, South Africa. It is about to be a beautiful morning indeed. We're coming to you live from the Samsung showroom at Design Quarter in Johannesburg. And this morning, I can feel it. It's in the air, baby. We're going to have a good one, okay? It is 5 to the weekend, and we're 100% going to be keeping you entertained. But of course, you've been hearing about what's coming up, but we also want to see you on the social media streets. And this is why we have our Good Morning post, and this is where we hear from you. Hashtag Expresso Show, as well as with those voice notes, 063-408-8863. We are getting into the world of sports today, but your world particularly, okay? So look, there's nothing quite like finishing and going over that finish line as a whole and doing the things that need to be done, which is why this morning we are asking, do you have a sports goal that you want to accomplish at least once in your life? I have one, like, I think it's 40, you know what I mean? I've never ever run a 10-kilometer in my life. I think I've gotten close to like a 5-kilometer, but 10, you know, when I hear that people run like, I don't know, 52 kilometers and whatnot, it scares me. So that's why I one day want to challenge myself to run a 10-kilometer. But it's not about me, it is about you, because you are our Expresso family. Remember, hashtag Expresso Show all over social media, as well as that beautiful morning voice of yours on those WhatsApp voice notes. For now, though, we need to make sure that we take care of business, because it is the top of the hour. So we've got Ral, who's standing by with the news headlines.
Thank you so much, Zanele. Yeah, I can't wait to look forward to everything that's happening on your side. But for now, the official duties must commence, and starting with national headlines. Now, suspects being held in connection with the disappearance of Jocelyn Smith at Saldanha on the Cape West Coast are due to appear in the magistrates' court at Vredenburg today. Now, 6-year-old Jocelyn went missing on the 19th of Feb while in the care of her mother's boyfriend. And yesterday, the police opted to refrain from saying how many suspects would be appearing and on what charges. Now, earlier, 2 men and 2 women were taken in for questioning, and police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm Poiki said the search for Jocelyn was continuing. Well, carrying on with the headlines in national fronts, the Human Rights Commission, otherwise known as the HRC, has called for reforms to the policy on school clothes and the appearance of learners. Now, the Commission briefed Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Basic Education about its investigation into school uniform rules and allegations that the appearance of children is being over-regulated. Now, the manager of the HRC in the Eastern Cape, Eileen Carter, says they have received numerous complaints from parents, and the HRC has requested the department to conduct an audit of codes of conduct at schools to determine whether they comply with the Constitution. Well, now moving over to international headlines, and Liberia's President Joseph Boakai has set up a task force to crack down on corruption and to recover stolen state assets. Now, Boakai has ordered it to identify and prosecute any senior officials involved, and current and past government officials are to be investigated. Now, it was imperative to curtail this alarming menace that has engulfed our country. That's being said by the president. And people who purchased government assets illegally would also be forced to return them. And funding has been allocated to the task force, which will begin work immediately. Next up in headlines, it's a foregone conclusion that Joe Biden and Donald Trump will face each other for the second time in the U.S. presidential election. Now, in the Super Tuesday primaries, Biden and Trump achieved huge success, and Trump has won 12 states so far. However, his opponent in the Republican camp, Nikki Haley, enjoys the support of a large number of party supporters who will not necessarily support Trump in the November election. Now, President Joe Biden has similar problems because especially many young and black voters are dissatisfied with his policy regarding the Gaza war. Now, finally in our headlines, Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Davido has revealed a generous pledge of almost 4 million rand to orphanages across his homeland. Now, in a statement posted on X, the artist-born David Adedeji Adeleke declared his foundation's commitment to these institutions, highlighting it as an annual contribution to Nigeria's welfare. Now, in 2021, he ended up collecting some 2.5 million rands from his friends and fans after he shared a series of posts on X, otherwise then known as Twitter, asking people to send him money so he could clear his Rolls Royce from a port. Well, Davido topped up 600,000 rand or 600,000 naira of his own, and to everybody's total amazement and praise, he then donated a total of over 3 million rand to various orphanages in Nigeria. Well played. Now, Davido's dedication to social causes remains unwavering since, and I absolutely am here for this story. Love it, and I'm hoping that you'll love the rest of the headlines, because here's the G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
Thank you so much. Well, I think feeling a little less generous last night. We start with football, and Man City, they breezed into their 7th consecutive Champions League quarter-final, dispatching FC Copenhagen 3-1 to advance 6-2 on aggregate. So Emmanuel Akanji and Julian Alvarez securing an early lead, with Erling Haaland then adding his 29th goal of the season, and he's having an off-season, believe it or not. In contrast, Real Madrid, they narrowly progressed with a 1-1 draw against RB Leipzig, securing a 2-1 aggregate victory. So despite an underwhelming performance, the 14-time champions did just enough to overcome their Bundesliga rivals. Then we turn to rugby, and All Black star Jordie Barrett, he faces a 3-week ban that was following a red card in the Hurricanes' thrilling Super Rugby win over the weekend. So initially cautioned with a yellow for a high tackle on Reds fullback Jordan Petaya, it was then upgraded post-review. And the FPRC assessed the player's actions as directly contacting the head with high force. So Barrett, with 57 All Black tests under his belt, will sit out matches against the Blues, Crusaders and Rebels, all crucial encounters. Now, speaking of which, let's turn to cricket, and fast bowler Mark Wood steps in for Ollie Robinson as England's side changes up a little bit for that 5th test against India in Dharamsala, aiming to salvage some pride in the series. So with India already victorious at 3-1, England faces an uphill battle in chilly Himalayan town, and the conditions that will be set up for this Indian side, no doubt. Veteran James Addison, he remains in the side, nearing a historic 700 test wickets milestone. And then Sri Lanka's Muttiah Mullaratharan and Australian great Shane Warne are the only other 2 to have achieved such a feat. That's incredible. That final test will commence this morning. Then some news concerning the Olympics and Paralympics. Paralympics Russian and Belarusian athletes competing neutrally at the Paris Paralympics face exclusion from the opening and closing ceremonies. That's per International Paralympic Committee, or the IPC guidelines. So despite competing under a neutral banner due to NPC suspensions post-Ukraine's invasion, the participation is conditioned on no war support. However, the IPC does prohibit neutral Paralympic athletes from involvement in the ceremonies themselves. So a bit of a dark undercurrent, unfortunately, as we work towards the biggest sporting showpiece in the world. But that's where we leave our sport for just a moment. Of course, the Springbok ladies will be stepping a little bit later for a catch-up. But right now, let's bring you up to speed with the latest on the weather front.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, for the first time this morning, let's dive into the world of weather and report on weather news first up. Now, the SA Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms with hail, strong damaging wind, as well as heavy downpours and flash flooding expected to cause damage to property, blowing off roofs, as well as flooding of susceptible roads and bridges. Now, this over the eastern half of both the Free State and Northwest provinces, Gauteng, the north of KwaZulu-Natal, and the Highveld of Mpumalanga. Now, on top of this, extreme high fire danger conditions also expected over the central and eastern parts of the Free State and Northwest, as well as the Tsansabane and Gamada local municipalities of the Northern Cape and the Dr. Beyers Nordier, Ingquba, Yetemba, and Enoch Mginjima local municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Well, from our weather news, it's that time of the morning where we dive into our sunrise view of the hour. Always inspired by these pictures, and yes, indeed, Gail Doyle from Gordons Bay has come through and done exactly that, inspiring us with a beautiful shot of the sky. I love the colors coming through in the clouds here, and I love how you starting your day. Gail, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and we'll keep it coming. We'll do it all again the next hour. The number's 063-408-8863. For now, though, let's take our first look at the temperatures that you can expect on your side of town.
Now, enough with the weather. Let's talk a little bit of sport. If you are a Diski fanatic, then you could score big, and I mean big, when you play Sports Stake 8 fixture list 696. Get this, for an estimated jackpot of over 1.3 million today. That's why I'm being so specific. It's a biggie. So get your head into that game and do what you do every weekend. Just think about sports and then head over to thenationallottery.co.za. That's their website to play. It's really simple and you could win big. You stand a chance of winning this estimated jackpot, again, of over 1.3 million rand, and of course the bragging rights to be in your game. So please play now. Good luck. So we're going to embark. We're going to take the ship out of port for the first hour of the show, and we're going to have a lot of fun. But we're also going to hold up a mirror to ourselves and our society, introducing you to an incredible documentary series and the maker thereof, Truth Be Told. And it sounds really evocative. And then hopefully we're going to get those emotions pumping as we think about our elections. Why do you need to vote? We're going to delve into that with one of the sharpest minds I think we ever welcome into our space. It was so good to have you here. Cannot wait to plug into this young lady's mindset. And we're going to chat a little bit about why it is so important for you to have your voice heard. All that and more after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, Expresso family. You're on S3, and this is exactly where you need to be to get your day started off perfectly. And more than anything else, we just love getting to be with you. And this is why this morning, we only have some of the best guests that are coming through. And as we come to you live from Johannesburg, I am so excited about the person we're speaking to today because he does the work that matters. Of course, as South Africa, we have a past, one that must never be forgotten, and someone who is truly on that mission to make sure of it is Enver Samuel, forgive me. He is someone who is an award-winning documentary filmmaker who has gone on to dedicate his life to making sure that he is telling the stories of political justice activists through apartheid and beyond. Welcome to Expresso, Enver. How are you?
Morning, and thank you for having me.
Of course. Enver, you are now someone who has just given us Truth Be Told, which is a 6-part documentary series. Please, for anyone who does not know, because I feel like they should, what is this about?
Essentially, Truth Be Told is a 6-part series of documentaries featuring, I would call them unsung heroes and heroines of the apartheid struggle to get us to our democracy. So they 6 sort of untold stories about individuals who ultimately paid the sacrifice with their lives. And the unique thing about the series is that those 6 individuals had a child or had children at the time that they were killed, ranging in ages from about 5 months to about 5 years old. And today they are adults between 30 and 40 years old, and they are the narrators of each story.
Wow. And I feel like that's such a different lens to see it through, you know? And I love the name of it as well, Truth Be Told, because you're digging at that truth, which is what you get to in terms of getting into those characters and all of their stories. But of course, we know the very first episode was broadcast. How was it received by viewers?
So the very first episode was the story of Pila Portia Ndwandwe, an MK operative that was killed in KwaZulu-Natal. It really went down very well. We had the launch at the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and it was a function in conjunction with the Foundation for Human Rights. And if that was an indication of how well it was going to go down, based on the responses we got there and the responses we got after the broadcast last night, I think South Africans are eager for content like this.
Really? That's so interesting. And especially 30 years on from democracy coming to our country, you know, that's a very interesting thing to know. But now, of course, in terms of getting into all 6 of these stories, there has to be one that sticks out for you, Enver. Which one would you say it is?
You're putting me on the spot.
I have to, yes.
I think they're so unique individually that it's very hard for me to pinpoint which one stands out. They all stand out for the remarkable way that their child tackles the story. You know, how they've had this burden of transgenerational trauma sit on their shoulders, basically. You can literally see it. So it's very hard to say, but they're uniquely individual stories on their own right. And every time in the editing room, you think like, you know, how is this going to be different and what is different? But because the child has their own background and their own lived experience, they're totally different stories.
I can imagine, and especially just coming from different parts of South Africa and so on and so forth. But now speak to us about this, because of course, you know, I feel like apartheid is something that's been spoken about not just in South Africa, but all over the world. Why was it important for you to tell the story, and specifically at this time?
I think as we mark 30 years of democracy this year, and as we go into another election, it's critically important to remember people like Pila Portia Ndwandwe, Bheki Sizwe Malangeni, Topsy Madaka, to name a few, who the general public, I'm assuming those names don't really ring a bell. But when you watch the series and discover what they did, then you realize that they need their time in the limelight, and their stories need to be told. Their children's stories need to be told. How 30 years after the TRC, they're still waiting for answers. There's still no justice for them. The wheels of justice are moving extremely slow for them. So I think as we see more and more of these stories and the quest for justice coming up, that it's incredibly important for us to tell these type of stories.
Yeah. And of course, with you saying 30 years on from 1994, I mean, I'm turning 30 this year, actually, 9 days away. And I always tell people that I was born before the election, you know, so I was there just for a little bit. However, I feel like, you know, there are a big chunk of us who are young people who never got to really experience it. And even growing up, only later on did we then get told about these stories. So for you, if you had to say, you know, there's something you want to pass on to the generation, such as mine, who didn't really grow up during that time, what message would you have for us?
I would say if you're able to watch the series and then realize how important today it is to vote, because your vote, you know, is able to do a lot of things, and people like the 6 in the stories fought and died for you to be able to vote.
Sure,
Yes.
that's powerful, Enva. And very quickly, before we let you go, Enva, you had spoken to us about a website and also where we can catch Truth Be Told.
So we literally went live last night, and the website is, you can get the website on www.thetruthbetold.co.za.
Amazing. Enva, thank you so much. And thank you for telling the stories that matter. Because that's what being a filmmaker is about, right?
Yes.
And congratulations. And congratulations to you, South Africa, because 30 years on into democracy, it is a beautiful thing to see just how much we have done and still can do. And this is why it's important to watch things like Truth Be Told. And every single Monday on S3, you can catch it at 9 p.m. For now, your Feel Good Breakfast show continues, and Graham and Raul standing by in Cape Town.
Yeah, I absolutely love that conversation. Love the inspiration coming through there. And hopefully this next topic can inspire you to make some change.
Yeah.
With us right now, it is Zethu Ngola, the content creator with over 260,000 TikTok followers. Yes, credentials are coming through indeed. Join us in the studio to delve into why we should be voting in the upcoming general elections, taking place, if you haven't heard, on the 29th of May 2024. And also remembering that 2024 marks 30 years of South Africa's democracy. Where are we now? Good morning, you beautiful soul. How are you doing?
Morning, I'm good. How
And
are
she
you
doesn't
guys
even
doing?
dance on TikTok, eh?
I don't.
That's even more impressive to me.
That's exactly
You are
that's 50 million in the real world, you know?
Words only.
Oh, girl, this is a difficult one. I mean, we've been talking non-stop since you sat down on that couch because this affects all of us.
Yeah.
It affects every South African, and we're feeling pretty disaffected. I think most of us are feeling like we're living in 2 different countries on the same piece of land.
Yes.
Maybe the world is feeling a bit like that right now. Polarized, hectic, intense, and this seems to be pushing young voters, most heartbreakingly, just away from the system. So how are you feeling in your heart of hearts about elections on the 29th of
I'm
May?
excited. I'm excited to have the opportunity to vote again, to change my circumstance. I mean, we have to be realistic about what the outcome might be, but there are so many new registered voters this year. It means people are waking up, they're becoming more informed. People are having more of these discussions online with their family, with their friends. You're seeing more memes of hide your ID books from your grannies, which you shouldn't.
But it's
people,
cool, yeah.
people are coming to the understanding of the importance of something like this. And I think sooner rather than later, some serious change is going to happen on a national leadership level.
Well, I think it also speaks to people. I'm amazed, and this speaks to religion, spirituality, to politics, to history. Young people are going and researching for themselves.
Absolutely.
They're going back, they're looking at videos of Steve Biko making a speech to make their own choice about something, which is very, very powerful
Yeah.
to me, man. Yeah.
Why, though, when you mention the fact that it is important, for those that aren't aware of this importance, why is it so important to vote, especially when we're considering our youth, some of the young people that are coming into these informed decision-making positions, and obviously ones that can create change? Why is it so important for them to get involved in this one right now?
Because it affects every single one of us on a daily basis. If you're not getting service delivery, if your municipality is going down in flames, if you are facing unemployment, if you are struggling to essentially survive, voting is about creating a path for yourself in the future for economic sustainability, job development, and improved country. We live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. We were voted, Cape Town was voted the most beautiful city in the world last year or the year before, but people arrive here. There's no electricity. There is a 40% unemployment rate. Everybody is struggling. Everyone is happy in general. I mean, we all have each other. You know how South Africans are.
We are sustaining, girl.
We are sustaining.
We are sustaining. And this is, I get so frustrated about the
putting
word.
the ability in
It is. That's our superpower, is just to sustain.
Yes.
Because that's how we wired. We
Yeah.
find a way. And I think we're proving it in pockets. In sport, we are seeing it. We are seeing how much power there is here. We could be Wakanda. We really could be.
We're winning at everything except for the governance of the country.
And that's where the team, which is us, have to
Yes.
step in. So how do we fight back against, pushback against this apathy?
So it's difficult, right? Because look at just how South Africa behaves when it's going to be a public holiday. So voter apathy takes many forms. You get the form where people feel like their political decision doesn't matter, them voting doesn't matter. It's not going to change.
I voted
everything.
last time, nothing
So
changed.
those are
Right,
exactly, and those are usually the most impoverished, most vulnerable people because they're not getting the basic necessities and human rights to actually live wherever they're living. So there is no investment for them in the future. Then you get apathy of people who are completely in the dark about who to vote for. You know, we're living in one hell. They don't want to move to another fresh hell. So they would rather stay in the comfort zone of corruption and mess that they know versus give someone else a chance under assumption. Then there's the apathy that I think affects a lot of young people as a byproduct of a public holiday, which is the 29th of May is a public holiday. The 28th of May, the bars are full, the clubs are full, the streets, you know, are open air. So you have people who have registered to vote, but they make a typical pre-public holiday decision of going out, and then the last thing you want to do when you wake up the next morning after being out all night is go stand in a line for hours and hours. And then you get people who weren't that invested in it, but due to the weather conditions where they are voting or where their station is, I've seen people just leave the line. Like,
How about we reverse that? We have the public holiday after the voting day, and you can only get into the clubs and the bars if you've got your stamp, girl.
I'm gonna publicize my voting station and do my first ever meet and greet. I'll be like, come to this voting station, XYZ, let's take some photos.
Oh, that's fantastic. Listen, so I think for a lot of us, maybe you've piqued the interest of some voters that were disinterested right now, and maybe they actually realize that, okay, I can possibly make a change. I can possibly make an impact here. How would you advise a voter to go about doing their thing when it comes to the 29th of May? Tips, advice, should they be doing any research? What sort of mindset should they be in when making this big decision?
Yes. I think first and foremost, you need to be open-minded. You need to do your research. You can go on the IEC website to find out more about how the electoral process works. Okay. There's a free learning tool called Future Elect that's done by a non-profit. And that's basically a website that has 6 courses on how everything that's important to know works. And it's like 2 minutes to read per course. How does government work? How's the president elected? Why do politicians take each other to court so often? So topics like that. You can also look up the manifestos of each political party. They're going to be releasing some are already out. So with that manifesto, they're telling you what their themes are for the year. It's their ad campaign. It's the baby, I've arrived. And this is why you should vote for me.
Okay.
And I would add to that, to the politicians, please don't politic too much, because I think that is often what puts us off, is when we see the nonsense happening around, and we can from our seat identify, okay, they're just trying to drum up sensation, they're trying to create, you know, whatever momentum. We get that, but for a lot of people that's polarizing, it's triggering, and we just step back. People just back, especially young people, with what's going on in the world. So politicians, please behave yourself as we build into this, and let's focus on the good stuff. And I love the fact that you're prompting people to go out there and do your own research.
Yes, absolutely. So important.
Do you think this is the one? You mentioned that this could possibly see a shift at the very highest level, for whatever that means.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the election that takes us into this future that we are all still kind of holding up as our true north?
This is not the one. Unfortunately, but it is the most important one ever. We have 2 million more registered voters. It's not much, but 2 million is a lot more people than before. There is a lot of unhappiness that's felt on every single level by people, especially young people, creative people, people who are sustaining the economy, contributing to tax, new to the workforce, who have had enough. A lot of people now realize that they can't just stand by and take it, or when they see what's going on in the country, they feel uncomfortable to not have the power to do something. This is your power, this is your time. And it's gonna make the ANC uncomfortable. I think this is going to be the first time where they truly feel it where it hurts, that they have lost everyone beyond just the conversation online. Unfortunately, you know, the young people like 18 to 29 are the ones with the power to unseat the ANC. There are 14 million young, unregistered, eligible voters, and they literally have the power to unseat the ANC. And the important thing is to just go and vote, you know. Even if you are 5 minutes before signing that ballot, that's when you make the decision. As long as you're not voting for our current common enemy,
yeah, for sure.
It's a very important one. It's not the one, but this is the one that sets the groundwork for the next one, which might be the one.
I think most importantly, think of it as a service to others. You're not voting for yourself. So there are two things. If you want to complain about anything in this country, you've got to vote. That's the bottom line. But think of your vote as what you are doing for the person below you, the person on that ladder climbing up that is going to emerge into the space. You have a responsibility to leave it in a better state than you found it. That's the bottom line. So let's celebrate 30 years of South Africa's democracy by doing what the whole point was and making your voice heard, and really have your say when we go to the polls, which, as I say, it even gives me goosebumps because I remember 1994 and the start of this journey. At that point, the 29th of May is when you have an opportunity to literally put your hand up and put your mark down. So don't waste this opportunity. It is, in fact, our responsibility.
Yeah. Well, Zet is still going to be sticking around with us for the rest of the day and diving into some more conversation. So I want to thank you for that this morning. But I want to thank you, Mzansi, because a lot of entries have been coming through for a big competition where we get to reveal another winner of 2,000 Rand. So you definitely want to stick around for that. And as you heard, we're going to be putting these bodies to the paces. We're also going to be educating you on how to hydrate ahead of that incredible race taking place this weekend. It's the Cape Town August Tour. Well, it's happening this weekend. It's a big one. It's something you want to get involved in. And we've got tips to make it that much easier. See you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope the legs are feeling good, feeling strong, because they are gearing up for the much-anticipated Cape Town Cycle Tour happening this Sunday, and it's a biggie. If you're one of the thousands who'll be sweating it out in the saddle, it's important to remember to hydrate smartly. It's not just about the water. We're not just big water jugs. You've got to have the right stuff to get that water into your system. And here with advice on how to keep the wheels spinning with the right fluids for peak performance is artist and avid cyclist Salome de Wet. Welcome to the show. Good to see your beautiful face.
Oh, thanks for having me.
How are you feeling? Because now you've got to be at that point that you're ready to roll.
Yes, no, this preparation needs to be done before this. This is the final few days. But I'm feeling really strong, actually. Yeah, I'm super excited. This is my 4th cycle tour.
Does it get easier, or do you pile more expectation on your shoulders with each one of these? Because as you go down that rabbit hole, you realize what you can do with this amazing body, and that's got to unlock some special stuff.
For sure. No, so the expectation is definitely more, but obviously, because you know what you're going into, your preparation gets a bit easier. The
Preparations, what are they? Talk us through how you have worked towards this particular cycle tour.
So actually, I've been doing a lot of spinning classes. We have the people from Hustle and Heart here actually today as well, but a lot of spinning classes because that's like your interval training. And I've also just tried to stretch my rides a little bit over the weekend, but I guess obviously working on your fitness. And then also your nutrition plan, making sure you've practiced your nutrition and just obviously making sure your body is in best physical shape.
When you say practiced your nutrition, I've learned that the hard way, both during marathons, ultra marathons, where I made the mistake of having a sip of a sugary drink, thinking it would just give me the boost I needed, but I still had about 7 Ks to go, and it was not the case. So when you talk about practicing nutrition and hydration, what does that look like for you?
So I think nutrition is very personal for each person, like you say as well. I've made that mistake on the hard way too, with going for the sugars too early on in the race. And what I found with sugar, it just takes you up and drops you back down.
For sure, yeah.
So with nutrition, obviously, I think it starts the week before the race. Like, you need to hydrate your body, eat well, sleep well. And then I have this thing that I do, like the beetroot juice.
Oh, wow,
so, like, if you have, like, a beetroot juice every day, then anyone that's doing the cycle tour, like, you can still get on it. It actually like, oxygenates your blood so that you can actually perform better on the day. So, like, have a beetroot
It's nature's
juice every day.
doping, man.
Exactly.
I love that. No, I
Really
say that
works.
very loosely. I don't even want to say this word in the same conversation as a sporting event, but I love that because there are hacks out there.
Yes,
I can
for
just hear Ryle's voice shooting me out. Dude, you store sugars in your muscle tissue. You've got everything you need in your body, man. Stop eating. Stop eating. The hydration element is a big one, especially in Cape Town. And often you don't feel, because you've got the wind and you're swept up, you've got the momentum. Maybe you're stuck behind a chunky guy like me and you're being dragged along. You don't even notice that. And incidentally, to the 20 people that followed me to the last cycle tour, okay, come on, man. But the hydration is absolutely important. Yeah. How do you stay hydrated and approach that during the race?
So, in all honesty, I feel you need to work on your hydration before it's too late. So it's almost like you must keep on, like I make little marks for myself, like every, 5Ks have a bite of a bar or then have some hydration. Or
Brilliant.
Because I feel that if you wait until you're dehydrated, it's almost too late.
Yeah.
So for me, I just intentionally have little sips. I have a bottle of water and then a bottle of electrolytes. Just because you're obviously exerting your body and you're losing a lot of minerals and electrolytes in your body. So this is a great way to just keep hydrated. And the weather on Sunday looks absolutely incredible. So it's going to be hot.
And that's great because you don't even notice the first 40, 50 Ks because you're just looking around and it's so swept up with everyone. Some of those signs that you might be pushing your body too far, certainly on the hydration front, what should people be looking out for?
Well, obviously you're gonna be heavily breathing, especially going up certain, if you going up the hills or there's certain parts. So yes, then you're obviously gonna be breathing heavily, obviously short of breath, and I just think making sure that you manage your heart rate as well. Your heart rate can be spiking here and there.
It's crazy here, but during intensive exercise, approximately 2% of the body weight is lost through sweating. So you're losing a huge amount of water. But I think people forget we're not just a water jug. Yes. You can pour the water back and you need the salts, the electrolytes, all of those elements to be able to draw that water into your system to make it work. And obviously rehydrate just really, really ticks all of those boxes for me. Put it out there, Instone. What's the time you're going for?
4:30. 3:30, sorry.
3:30, I absolutely love that. I just want to reinforce this with you. Why are we going on and on about the hydration element? If you are exercising, as I said, that 2% of your body weight is lost through sweating. Some of us a lot more, but it's the vital electrolytes, those salts, balances before, as Salome has said, during and after exercise, all as important. And by drinking an oral electrolyte mixture like Rehydrate Sport. It helps to stimulate intestinal absorption of water. It's kind of the alchemy that needs to happen in your belly to maintain that electrolyte balance of the body, and it does make a massive difference. And that Rehydrate Sport is designed for this. It contains a balance of sodium, potassium, and sucrose. There is a little bit of sweet to pump you up, allowing for faster absorption of water to help you recover faster than water alone before, during, and after a race. In fact, water alone just won't cut it because it doesn't have those minerals. I love the fact that you are here representing both sides of the field, someone who is clearly a really ardent cyclist, but also I think this is one of those races where you can feel like a world champion just by being a part of it. It's magical.
We live in the most beautiful city in the world. Like, it's such a beautiful race.
Oh, just be safe out there, stay hydrated, stay energetic, and please look out for Salome on the road, and just wish her well. I love the fact that we are representing a community of people here. And I think in the realm of sports and training, you all need to know that we are finding the perfect balance to recovery faster than water alone, and embrace that lasting well-being. And stay tuned, because in just a moment we are going to be putting Ryle through his paces with a cycling-inspired workout that might also help you in the build-up.
Drained? Dehydrated? You have lost more than just fluid. Recover faster. Add Rehydrate, SA's #1 oral electrolyte mixture.
Love that conversation, and already I am hyped, pumped, and excited to get that workout on. But before we do, we want to chat to you, Mzansi. And of course, this morning we were chatting about the fact that there's nothing like that feeling of crossing that finish line, right? Achieving that victory, smashing that big goal. So the question is, do you have a sports goal that you'd like to accomplish at least once in your life? And we asked you to obviously share some voice notes and some of your answers. We have that number 0634088863, and of course our social media channels have been rife with it. So we've got some comments already to go through. Mark Gavin's already started up saying that feeling on Sunday morning, the Cape Argus Cycle Tour. Oh, so Mark Gavin, I hope that means you're going to be entering the event. And if you are, nothing but the best of luck to you. And I hope you have it. Joel Salani Rosie also says, morning, yes, I would love to run in a marathon one day. Oh, that's a beautiful goal. And I think you don't have to do anything crazy right now. Start at the beginning. Start off small, start off slow, and be consistent with it. I love these comments that have been coming through. We're sifting through a lot of it this morning. So Mzansi, keep it coming. Send some voice notes as well. And maybe even got some tips for us, because we would love to share it, right? Now, we've got a lot more coming at you. And we've got another one here. This one's from Sapio. And it says, good morning. I did athletics at school, and my goal was breaking the 100-meter and 300-meter record. I eventually did. Wow, nicely done. A speedster in the building. I hope you still have that pace and are using it for something exceptional. And maybe you have even bigger goals, but congratulations on achieving that goal. That's a big one. That's a huge one, and you can claim that one with absolute honor. I love these. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the energy flowing, Mzansi, and let's keep those goals big, bright, and bold, because we can help you achieve it. So the number's 0634088863. Come through. Use that hashtag Expresso Show, and we can share your answers with the world. What we also want to share with you is some incredible working out and inspiration for this weekend. So we've got some superstars that are going to be showing us how to do an exact exercise flow, how to warm up ahead of this weekend's incredible race. And then we've got an artist of the day out in Joburg that we're going to be touching base with, someone that is a gospel sensation, a beautiful voice. Lebo S is standing by, and we'll be touching base in Joburg for that. So a lot to look forward to in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
Panado Grape gives you the power to fight their pain in a new flavor that tastes great. I mean grape. To celebrate the new grape taste, this 4th to the 15th of March, Panado offers you 10 chances to win 2,000 Rand cash. Just answer the questions on the Panado post on Expresso's social media pages using hashtag PanadoSA and hashtag Power to Fight Pain. T's and C's apply. Panado Grape, it's a clear choice in fast pain and fever relief.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Things are feeling really good right now, and they're going to feel even better, especially if you join us. So my cue to you is to get up off the couch, get something comfortable on, and come move with us right now as we pedal closer to the Cape Town Cycle Tour this Sunday, and we're going to ensure our bodies are primed for the ride ahead. Now, we've got Mika Lenton from Hustle and Heart here to show us some essential stretches to optimize our cycling performance this weekend. And yes, of course, Lobi's also joining us right now. So we've got two incredible souls here. If you want to look this good, you want to feel this good, and perform great this weekend, then let me remind you that this is what it's about. Get moving and come join us right now. Mika, how are we doing this one?
Fantastic stuff. So for that cycle tour, you really want to mobilize the lower back. So we're going to be starting off on a 4-point kneeling position.
All right.
Getting hands directly underneath your shoulders and knees directly underneath your hips.
Okay.
And from here, I want you to roll the shoulders back, tilt the head up, and deep breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to tilt the tailbone, pull that belly button to spine, and big press up, using those palms to press into that upper back as well. And deep breath in, tilt tailbone up, roll the shoulders back.
Oh, the rust on my lower back is just slowly falling off as we do this.
Big
This is
press
beautiful.
up. And we're going to do one more there. And tilt down, deep breath in. And breathe out as you press up. And from here now, at this top, you're pushing into the upper back. And I want you to just gently tilt and bring hips side to side. So bring your left hip to your left rib cage, right hip to your right rib cage, and do so while pressing up into that upper back. And you can already feel shoulders stretching, lower back stretching, and just feeling all that goodness. Oh, so good.
My word, I could spend hours in this position. Honestly, the rust is just slurping off. While we are busy, I want to talk to you again, Mzansi, and remind you the fact that we have this incredible cycle tour happening this weekend is a reminder for you to rehydrate. And rehydrate is ready to mix. It's a powder that can be mixed with water. It's used to replenish lost electrolytes. And due to sports or diarrhea and gastroenteritis, it's something that's definitely going to assist you in those fronts. And an expert for over 30 years, Rehydrate contains the optimal balance of sugar and electrolytes to replace those lost fluids and minerals, especially for a session like this. So go all the tips you need right now, all the advice, and let's carry on with the session because I think I'm hyped for it. All right, so the rust is slowly coming off. What do you got next?
Perfect. Left leg coming up.
Okay.
So you want to work out on into those hip flexors as well as the quads. So you can hold on to those hips.
Okay.
From here, I want you to rock in to that hip flexor. Ooh. Nice, feel that stretch all the way down the quad over there.
Should be in the quad and a little bit of the groin, is that correct?
A little bit in the quad, groin, into those hip flexors. The more you squeeze into that groin, you can feel that stretch in the front. And then from here, you want to be more of a flow in and out of it. So you're going to drive through that heel, big press back, and then pull those toes towards you, keeping a nice hinge in the back. Jeepers. And then from here, you're going to change the rock forward, and then you're going to come into a nice little flow. And each time, you're going to feel yourself coming deeper into the stretch, and big press back, pull your shoulder blades away from the ears. And let's just do two more here because it feels really good.
It is. It's feeling good. I'm feeling such a good stretch in the hamstring as well.
So good. And the more you pull those toes towards you, that deeper that stretch comes through.
Yeah, it's like almost like that entire nerves getting flussed right through from that sciatic point all the way to the pinky. This is beautiful stuff.
Let's do one more here. So big press, pull back. Lovely stuff. All right. And then you're going to come back into that low lunge for me. So I want you to bring that right leg all the way back. Place that right arm down. You're going to thread the left elbow through as far as you can.
Yo, goals, you touching your elbow on the ground? Whoa, okay, except for me, guys. I've got some work to do here.
And then big press off this right hand. And then you're reaching, opening up, big stretch.
Oh, wow.
Also the best stretch ever. And coming through, bring that elbow down.
So like feeling it in the groin, feeling it in that thoracic twist region.
And then
shoulders.
even trying to stack the shoulders over each other, trying to get a nice little pec stretch as well. Let's do one more here.
Oh, this is properly opening up so many parts of the body that I didn't even know were closed off. So thank you for this. Sanzi, I hope you're enjoying this right now. Don't forget to breathe. And these are exercises you can take with you and complete these rounds. Do you have a sort of time basis on how many reps or how long you would do this?
Usually about 20 to 30 seconds each time, especially with the mobility flow kind of movements.
So reminder, we are doing one side of this. Remember to do the other side as well, Sanzi. We want to have balance here too. All right.
Then one last one that I really enjoy is also for the adductors and hip flexors. So coming into a position, we may need to spread out a little bit. So 1 foot forward, bringing your foot in line with your knee, hands out in front of you, and from here you're going to tilt the tailbone, rock back, almost into like a little position over there. And then again, you're rocking out and rocking a little bit deeper into that stretch, keeping that foot nice and flat on the ground. Beautiful stuff. And coming up, let's do one more here. Big stretch back. and relax. Lovely stuff. Okay.
Wow, a constant reminder for me to breathe, a constant reminder that Mika has all the goods that we need. Hustle and Hard is a place where you can really dive into some of these exceptional movement exercises, strengthening work, you name it, they've got you covered. And I want to say thank you for coming through right now. I played touch rugby last night and my body's so stiff, so everything you work in the pelvic girdle here is just incredible. So again, I want to wish you both the best of luck for the weekend. As I know it's going to be a good jaw. A reminder to you, Mzansi, of course, don't forget that you've got to finish the other half of this workout. You can repeat these for a couple of rounds, but a reminder that Rehydrate brings back the balance to help you recover faster for good health. And good luck to everybody doing the cycle tour this weekend. And don't forget, you've got to finish your exercises, guys. Should we do the other side now?
Yeah,
Ready?
let's go. Let's go.
Right, Mzansi, let's go. Let's go.
Let's start one more.
Drained? Dehydrated? You have lost more than just fluid. Recover faster. Add Rehydrate, SA's #1 oral electrolyte mixture.
So whenever you look in the dictionary looking for the definition of feel good, what shows up as an example is Expresso. Yes, indeed. And it is you and us coming together, doing the things that need to be done to make sure that you start off your day perfectly. Now, coming up, we're going to be getting to know an absolute queen, the 4th most streamed artist on Apple Music, or rather female artist in South Africa. I am talking about Lebo Sekgobela, and she's going to be blowing us away with her beautiful voice. And then we are also going to be having the Springbok women's team joining us in studio. So trust me, the menu is still oh so full and oh so delicious, and you got to stay exactly where you are because you're on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
You know, you're exactly where you need to be when you're tuned into Expresso right here on S3. And my friend, our Feel Good Breakfast Show is all about celebrating greatness, which is why this morning we have an award-winning gospel queen. In fact, she's gospel gold, and she's someone who genuinely always just gets us into the spirit. We say hallelujah, honey, and amen. I am talking about the 4th most streamed female artist in South Africa on Apple Music. It is none other than Lebo Sekgobela. Everybody make some noise. Lebo. Welcome to the show, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Of course. How are you today?
I'm very good. I'm feeling good.
Yes.
Yes, because I had the espresso tea this morning.
Oh, babe, come on. I love it. And of course, you're feeling good because Kept by Grace is coming up this weekend. My love, I know that we're going to be getting into that very, very soon because of how big it is. But we need to start from the beginning.
Let's do that.
It's such a difficult industry to break into when we speak about the music industry, and then even more so gospel. Tell us about your journey in terms of starting out. How did you break into the industry and how long did it take?
Wow. So it's a long journey. So I'm on my 8th album, which is the one that I'm recording now.
Yes.
I think everybody started knowing me on my 5th album. My first cassette was then titled Kingwana Hao.
Your
Yeah.
first cassette.
Uh-huh.
Ha, Lebu, you look 2 years old. What do you mean a cassette?
No, my first cassette was Kingwana How, and I was new then when there was CD Restored, you know, Lion of Judah, and Take Your Alone, and all these other songs in the album, and which was then my 5th album, and now I am recording my 8th album. Yeah,
That's incredible.
It has been an amazing journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think that it's such a beautiful thing for you to be able to tell your story because so many people can draw inspiration from it. But then let's speak about this because we know that in this industry there's a lot of rejection. What kept you going? Even when you were hearing all those no's, what kept you going, I'm gonna do this?
Oh, I remember going to Coca-Cola Popstar for auditions and singing, "There's a hero if you look inside your heart," and then thinking that my heart was going to be like, you know, well motivated, but I did not get the opportunity because it was not yet time. I remember going to Joy Celebration for auditions, and they're like, "No, girl, you don't have it."
Oh,
you know?
my word.
But that did not, you know, did not drop me or did not put me down because I knew there's greatness in me, like
Come
there's greatness
on.
in everybody. You know, when you go through scripture, you find that, you know, the Lord saying to Jeremiah, "Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I had plans for you, and, you know, to prosper you." That's a beautiful word, you know, and I knew that God has amazing plans for me, and I did not give up because I believed in the gift that God has given me. So here I am.
Yeah,
you know,
on Expresso, darling. Yes, thank you very much.
With the gorgeous.
Oh, stop, Lebu. I'm the one who's honored. And babe, I also know that, you know, so many different opportunities have come along for you. But one that sticks out for me is the show that everybody has watched in South Africa. Kumbule Kaya. How did that opportunity come about? Because that is your voice.
Wow. Oh, wow. I mean, you know, I was just called in. I did not even know what a voiceover was, you know. So I was called in to come to the studio. I remember it was Absa, you know, then who called me, and then I went in, and then they were like, "Okay, there's a song." Then we had to go through it, you know, and then they're like, "No, you need to do it in an African way."
Yes.
You know, you know, like all those things, you know, Kumbule Kaya.
Yes.
And I mean, it has been an amazing, one. And I look back and I'm grateful to God for every single opportunity.
Yes, I love that. I mean, it's something South Africans will never forget. It is etched in our minds forever.
Yeah, definitely.
But this is what I also actually need to ask, because of course that was a little bit different to gospel, right? Will you ever go outside of the genre of gospel?
I've done that.
Okay, tell us more, my sister, because we know you for your gospel
So
vibes.
I did a song with DJ Cleo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time ago. We did a song, Casanova.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a song about, you know, this guy who was a womanizer, you know, like, you know, a cheater, that guy, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I go into studio and they're like, you know, you're gonna do the song, you know, and yeah, I'm like standing there, you know, singing about, I've never been rejected, so I don't know how it feels like to sing about this man.
Yes.
But I did a song with him. I was able to do a song with Jub. I was able to do a song with, you know, Benjamin Dube. So like, you know, just singing with different people. I mean, now recently with Dumim Gokstad. So I'm grateful for every opportunity.
Yes, my love, that's beautiful. And of course, it's led you up to this point.
Definitely.
Where this weekend, it is the Kept by Grace live recording. Tell us about it, and what do we need to know for everyone who wants to be there?
So it's gonna be a life transforming. You know, I think everybody has a reason why they're grateful, you know, to God for whatever that He has done for them. You know, it might be life, it might be you waking up in the morning, it might be being able to see your loved ones, you know. Yeah, so we are kept by grace, you know, so we have a story to tell. So I'm recording at the Carnival City this coming Saturday.
Yes.
And it's gonna be amazing. And I've got a book out.
Oh, and you've got a book out. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. We're going to hear more about it.
Thank you.
But you need to stick around, Expresso family, because Lebo Sekhuela is in the building. She's going to be blowing us away with her voice. But for now, it is the top of the hour. So let's find out what is happening in the news headlines with Ryle.
Thank you, lovely soul. Yes, it's just gone on the hour, and let's dive straight back into official duties. And starting with national news headlines, and in view of the general elections on the 29th of May, the Independent Electoral Commission, otherwise known as the IEC, has detailed how the electorate can apply for special votes. Now, special votes allow registered voters to apply to vote on a predetermined day before election day. And to qualify, you must be unable to visit your local voting station due to a disability. Now, special votes can be cast at home, and IEC officials will visit you at your residence or at a voting station. Now, special votes and home visits will take place on the 27th and 28th of May, but apply for a special vote before the 3rd of May. Well, carrying on with the headlines, and suspects being held in connection with the disappearance of Jocelyn Smith at Saldanha on the Cape West Coast are due to appear in the Magistrates Court at Vredenburg today. Now, 6-year-old Jocelyn went missing on the 19th of Feb while in the care of her mother's boyfriend. And yesterday, the police opted to refrain from saying how many suspects would be appearing and on what charges. Now, earlier, 2 men and 2 women were taken in for questioning. And police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm Poiki said the search for Jocelyn was continuing. Well, now moving over to international headlines, and the United Nations World Food Programme, otherwise known as the WVP, says Israel's army has prevented it from delivering food aid to northern Gaza. Now, the WVP says 14 trucks were denied entry at the Wadi Gaza checkpoint, and they were diverted to another route and later stopped by a large crowd of desperate people who looted some 200 tons of food. Now, the UN has warned that some 576,000 people in the Gaza Strip, a quarter of the population, are one step away from starvation. Well, carrying on with international headlines, Liberia's President Joseph Boakai has set up a task force to crack down on corruption and to recover stolen state assets. Now, Boakai has ordered it to identify and prosecute any senior officials involved, and current and past government officials are to be investigated. Now, it was imperative to curtail this alarming menace that has engulfed our country, and this being said by the president. Now, people who purchased government assets illegally would also be forced to return them, and funding has been allocated to the task force, which will begin work immediately. Well, lastly in our headlines, Russell Cook from Worthing in West Sussex, England, who commenced his extreme challenge to run the length of Africa, starting from SA's southernmost point on April the 22nd last year, is presently navigating through Mauritania's desert sands. Now, he aims to reach Tunisia's northernmost tip by April the 7th, and to conquer the scorching Sahara, Cook has adopted a nocturnal strategy, running from 7 in the evening till 5 in the morning, and this to sidestep the relentless sun. Now, despite visa troubles and health setbacks, the resilient 26-year-old persists. Dubbed the hardest geezer, he targets the 14,500-kilometer odyssey to cross 16 borders in over 310 days of relentless running, all in the support of the running charity, and already having garnered some 5 million rand. This is absolutely incredible stuff, and wishing those legs nothing but all the distance to get to that final destination. Beautiful stuff indeed, and what an incredible cause. We carry on with some good causes and some good results when it comes to all things sport, and here's G-Man with the latest.
Oh, the Forrest Gump beard growth makes it for me. What an inspiring story there. Let's see if these results will inspire you. Are they marching on? Man City, they looked incredibly strong, breezing into their 7th consecutive Champions League quarterfinal after, well, dispatching FC Copenhagen 3-1 to advance 6-2 on aggregate. Manuel Akanji and Julian Alvarez securing an early lead, with Erling Haaland adding his 29th goal of the season, and he's actually having an off-season, believe it or not. Then in contrast, Real Madrid, they narrowly progressed with a 1-1 draw against RB Leipzig, securing a 2-1 aggregate victory. Despite an overwhelming performance, the 14-time champions, they did just enough to overcome their Bundesliga rivals. Then on to rugby. Not the best news for All Black star Geordie Barrett, as he faces now a 3-week ban following a red card in the Hurricanes' thrilling Super Rugby encounter over the weekend. So initially cautioned with a yellow for a high tackle on Reds fullback Jordan Petaya, it was then upgraded post-review, and the FPRC assessed the player's actions as being directly contacting the head with high force, which is a no-no. So Barrett, with 57 All Black tests, will be sitting out matches against the Blues, Crusaders and the Rebels as well, all crucial encounters. Now we turn to cricket, and fast bowler Mark Wood is back in the fold. He steps in for Ollie Robinson as England's sole change for their fifth and final test against India in Dharamsala, aiming to salvage some pride at least in the series, and it's been a tough one. India already victorious at 3-1 in the series, so England faces an uphill battle in what will undoubtedly chilly Himalayan conditions that are set up for the Indian bowling attack. Veteran James Anderson, he remains in the team. They're going to need his experience as he nears a historic 700 test wicket milestone. And that is just behind these two incredible names, Sri Lanka's Muttiah Muralitharan and Australian great Shane Warne. So in very special company there. That final test will commence a little bit later this morning. Now, of course, the Olympics and Paralympics coming up soon, and Russian and Belarusian athletes competing neutrally at the Paris Paralympics now face exclusion from that opening and closing ceremony. That's per International Paralympic Committee, the IPC guidelines. So despite competing under a neutral banner due to NPC suspensions post the Ukraine invasion, participation is now conditional on no war support. However, the IPC still prohibits neutral Paralympic athletes, the MPA, from involvement in the ceremonies, which is heartbreaking and of course speaks to a much larger issue affecting the world right now. But that's where we leave our sport for just about 5 minutes. The Springbok ladies are about to step into studio. They have a massive tour, a massive year on the way, so cannot wait for that. But right now, let's get you to work safely if you're heading out.
Thank you, G-Man. Yes, let's see how we can assist you when it comes to the roads, and not much to report on except for in Cape Town. Now, there's been an accident on the N2 inbound, and that's before the R300, and the right lane is affected. You can definitely expect some delays, so do allow for more travel time if you're passing through the area. And for anybody heading out on the roads this morning, buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. From the roads, we head to the sky now and find out what's happening in the latest when it comes to weather. Diving straight into all things weather news right now, and news on matters water this morning concern residents of Roodepoort and Randburg in Gauteng who face prolonged water challenges as Rand Water grapples with restoring supply to these regions. Now, providing an update on the city's water situation, the utility disclosed that the Kickoff pump station had experienced 2 power outages over the weekend, and this leading to critically low water levels in Johannesburg's reservoirs. Now, while Rand Water has initiated efforts to pump water to all affected areas, some locations, notably Roodepoort and Randburg, remain without water due to empty reservoirs. Now, Rand Water rectified the situation last night in most areas. Well, from our weather news, we dive into that sunrise view of the hour. And as always, we get to celebrate it with you, Mzansi. And look at this shot before the sun is even up. You see an ominous picture of the clouds. They look vibrant. They look like they are full of life. And I'm absolutely loving this picture from Pelican Park. Gail Johnstone sending this one through, and we are absolutely grateful. It's abstract, it's unique, it's like a piece of art, and we are grateful for it. So keep it coming. We'll do it all again in one more hour. The number is 063-408-8863. And we absolutely love it. For now, though, we can go from our sunrise views, diving straight into those temperatures that you can expect on your side of town.
So yes, basically it's cooling down everywhere except Uppington. Sorry guys, but they still do need to refresh. So I'm going to do that right now. Why? Because my mouth is already getting a little bit dry, because some of my favorites are stepping into studio. The Springbok ladies are here. They have a massive year and an incredibly important tour coming up against some of the best. We're going to catch up with some of the ladies. And then of course it's Lebo's turn to entertain us. We've caught up with her already. She is incredible and her voice needs to be heard to be believed. So stick around as we enter into the second hour of the show. It's going to be spectacular and yes, smooth sailing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, there is a reason why I'm so excited this morning. I think you know how enthused, empowered I feel because women's sports in the TV land is getting what it deserves. I think last year was a game changer. This year, even better. And a big part of that is centering around the journey of our Springbok women. It's about to level up significantly this year as they gear up for their upcoming tour to the UK to butt heads against some of the best in the business, with training sessions against Scotland and Wales, followed by test matches against Spain, the USA, and then of course the tour serves as invaluable preparation for their future endeavours, including the Rugby Africa Women's Cup and the Rugby World Cup in England in 2025. There are so many implications here, and joining us in studio is Springbok Women's captain, Nolasandiso Boy, Jackie Salir, Mary Zulu and Piwa Kutle in Yanda. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. If I'm this excited and nervous and buzzing, I'm literally getting goosebumps here and half my muscles are spasming because this is massive. I'm going to work down the line here. Mary, I'm going to start with you. You're stepping into the 15 berth. There is a lot of pressure on very young shoulders. When you look forward to a year like this feels like magic. Finally, you're getting the opportunities to play. How big is this year for you?
It's a very great and exciting year, you know, being able to travel around the world, and at such a young age, it's such a great experience, you know, and a dream come true, you know. It's always been one of my biggest desires and goals, so being able to accomplish that has been magnificent, you know. Yeah, I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to what
And you're too young to understand how much pressure's on your shoulders as well, which is great. I love the fact that you're going into this with some amazingly talented players around you as well, kind of right up that chain to guide you through this process. Jackie, it's a tense prospect with all the expectation that our country has on you guys. And when I look with all due respect at the amount of caps on this team, it's not a lot, because there has not been opportunity to get out there and play against the best in the world. When you do it, for someone who scored a trial debut, for someone who loves to be in that coalface, how important is it to have the opportunity to test yourself against the best?
Yeah, I think last year was the first year we started getting test matches and getting experience what we needed. Building up, I think that's a great opportunity for youngsters, myself. Getting the test matches we need and building that caps, getting depth in our team. So I'm really excited for what the future holds for us.
It is going to be massive. I think, Nola, you understand. you get this, I think, 40 caps. You are the most experienced player in this team. I like the fact that you're nodding your head. So I'm guessing that experience filters down to the younger players. But it makes your role very dynamic because you've got to deliver on the field. They need you to lead in your actions and how you play to get the system playing out in the way that Louis needs it to happen. But they also need you as a mentor individually. How have you embraced that role? How do you see your role internally?
For me, I think it's very important to deliver on the field and also know that I'm playing with the younger players. And I'll also say thank you to YTC for providing those players for us, because when they come to the system, they know exactly what is expected from them. Like they get the skills at the early age.
Completely, and you need that. You need layers, you need a feeding system. So I'm so glad all the local franchises are being represented. I'm so glad that we are getting international players and opportunities to play in the Premier Leagues. There is something very exciting about being able to test yourself in these spaces, but there is also a system that needs to be upheld. So if I had to ask you, what is the Springbok women's style of play? Could you put that down in a sentence? What do you try to achieve when you guys, and I know I'll get a different answer speaking to backs and to forwards. So from a backline perspective, what do you want to show us?
I think coach's exact words are, we are a perfect blend of strength and speed. And I think that sums it up. Like, we can take you on in the forwards and we can run around you on the outside. And we take pride in that because that is our DNA.
And it is. And from the physicality is there on a different level. Having stepped into a couple of training sessions to see that and how quickly that arc has come up is massive. So what are the expectations? What do you want out of this tour? Obviously, there's a personal element to make your mark and put your hand up because there are eyes watching from Premier Leagues all over the world now, which is massive. But it's also, for this team, an opportunity to do something special.
Yeah, no, our expectations going into this tour is to see where we're at right now currently as we're approaching the Africa Cup, and also to implement our game plan, you know, and see how it works for us, and also getting better at understanding each other and how we play, you know, as a team, yeah, and also getting at a better level in terms of our rankings also as well.
Have you also been given the mandate that you've got to win every game by 1 point? That seems to be the thing. I don't know if my heart can handle it. I don't know if I'm ready for that. There is, I think, within it, I mentioned the TV Land connection. We saw an increase, and I know South African sports females have been at the heart of the growth of women's sports. And it started with the cricket, and we've seen it in the football, and it's spilling over into, definitely into the sevens and certainly in the 15-man game. If you had to think of a younger version of yourself, and we speak to those young players, that pool of talent that we need to bring in, how important is it to see this, to see yourself represented at the highest level?
I think, yeah, we all are role models and we try to live up to it. But I think, just getting youngsters to back us, even older people, sorry.
Why were you could have looked somewhere else. You could have looked over at Ryle or JJ. I mean, come on.
No, just to get everyone to back us, even ourselves to back ourselves, going into tour, going into the preparation for the World Cup and everything that lies ahead. That's a big thing for us, and just to respect each other also, and what we want out of everything.
Yeah, I think that's the amazing thing here, is because, yes, you do play for all of us, and that's a mantle we just throw on you. But that comes with the emblem, that comes with the flag, that comes with the national anthem. I get that. But where you guys go in terms of how hard you push yourselves for each other is mind-blowing, and just so cool to see you guys as the tip of the spear that gets to take women's rugby in South Africa to the next level. And I know, because I know how much resource gets pumped into other unions, into other countries up until this point, to see us and what Saru is doing behind you guys right now is amazing. So good luck. Don't go break a leg, as we say in my industry. But we are so proud to have you representing us at the top tier. So just enjoy it. Savor every second. And of course, Ryle is going to savor every second as he gets to test the level of physicality in just a moment. We're going to do a little bit of training. Well, I say we. Ryle is going to do a little bit of training with the Springbok ladies. But I think this is a marker of how far the game has come, and that rests on, yes, the coaches, on the management, on what Saru are doing, but most importantly, what these women are doing every single day by showing up. And yes, I get to drive past them training every day as I pick my kid up from school, which is like the best part of my day. But you need to get behind women's sport on every level, from top to bottom.
Oh man, you see those ladies right there? Those are my queens. But here in Johannesburg, I'm also with the queen, someone who is just doing the most. I'm talking about Lebo Sekgobela. Lebo, I am so excited for this weekend, Kept by Grace, your amazing show that is coming up. Please, for anyone who wants to be there, such as myself, where do we get tickets?
So you get tickets at CompuTicket. They're starting from 350, and then you can get for your friend, for a family, for a sister, brother.
Yes.
You know, let's come and celebrate together.
Exactly. Let's be in the spirit together.
Definitely.
Exactly. But then, of course, when we were talking about that earlier on, you mentioned a book. Yes. Please tell us about it.
So wow, I've been writing, you know, and jotting down the thoughts and seeing how God has, you know, taught me so many things about myself and also about life. You know, the importance of forgiveness and the importance of understanding how to fight, but fighting well. You know, so that's a book. You know, Kept by Grace. That's also the title of the So that's the title of the album. That's the title of the book, because literally we have been kept. All of us, we have a testimony and a story to tell. So the book is going to be available on the day.
Love it.
Yeah, so everybody can just come. With a heart expected. Definitely.
Come on. I feel like it's a season of Kept by Grace, a season of grace in itself.
Definitely.
Beautiful. We are within grace because now, Lebo, we're about to be blown away by your beautiful voice. So, Expresso family, I'm going to need you to welcome to the carpet, the queen. I told you earlier on, the 4th most streamed female artist on Apple Music in the whole entire country. It is Lebo Sekgobela with none other than Umudima Wamuha.
Fale, Gimatelam, Bosa, Wana, Fela, Naisali, Mohawana, Pitlela, Ekema, Getsim, Fela, Onaisali, Oh, Pitlela, Kima, Getsim, Fela, Naisali, Oh, Pitlela, Kima, Getsim, Fela, Oh, Naisali, Oh, Pitlela, Kima, Getsim, Fela. Masamba, masamba. A method.
Everybody make some noise. It is hallelujah, amen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And of course, Lebo, it is Umuhawa Mutimo.
Yeah.
I got it wrong. I'm sorry, everybody. Please forgive me, Mama. I'm so sorry. She's embarrassed where she is. However, Lebo's not going anywhere just yet, everyone. It is still your Feel Good Breakfast show. And what can you still expect? Well, we're going to be getting into what Greg was talking about earlier on, where Ryle is going to be putting himself to the test with the Springbok women's team. And I can't wait to see that. But then, tying in with that, it is the Springbok beautiful breakfast that honestly is one for champions. A protein-packed pancake, huh? I think I want to taste that. Cape Town, you're going to have to send one down. It is all coming up, though, right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Yes, Mzazi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Things are going to be feeling warm and sprightly because it's time for you to get ready to ignite your inner Springbok woman with our fitness segment led by the incredible Mary Zulu in the building. Yes, yeah, yeah. And we are drawing inspiration from the strength and determination of our Springbok women's rugby team. And Mary's going to be guiding us through a dynamic workout designed to unleash our full potential. And alongside is our captain, Nolo Tondiso in the building as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to move, get ready to be inspired as I let Mary take us through some rugby fitness. All right, so what do you got prepared for us?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of HIIT exercises. Basically, it's a metabolic session. So we're going to go in with, we're going to start off with push-ups.
Okay, so we don't need any equipment here, right?
No.
Nice, so Mzansi can join in with us right now.
Definitely.
Get off the couch, get involved, let's get inspired, and let's get these Springboks ready. You're leaving today for that big tournament, so let's get the body jacked up, right? How are we doing this?
So it's just push-ups, make sure your shoulders are shoulder width apart,
Okay.
and then your legs slightly out.
All right.
And then all you do is you go down and up.
Okay.
Down and up. Down and up. Yep.
And how many reps of these would you do in total?
So we do 10 reps.
10 reps,
yeah,
all right.
Basically
okay.
10 reps, yeah.
Nice. So here we got a couple of bodyweight exercises. So we're going to fly through this, but remember at home you can finish these reps and do a full workout of this. Okay, exercise number 2, what do you got?
So next we're going to do butt kicks.
Butt kicks.
Butt kicks,
all right.
yeah. So usually we do it for 20 seconds, but just butt kicking.
Okay,
butt
so making
kick.
sure those heels are touching the butt and
Yeah,
you're staying nice and soft on the landing.
Yep.
And this is obviously a skill that every rugby player in your team needs, and that's being able to run and move those legs, and especially with the power. And let me tell you, the power, the speed, these women are cut, they're fast, they're determined to make magic, and I'm telling you, this is why. Look how good they look doing these basics. Get involved, Mzansi. All right, so exercise number 2, butt kicks done. What's next?
Yeah, from then we go into sit-ups.
Sit-ups, right. This is working the core, right? The abs.
Definitely,
Okay, you need this for the game especially.
Yeah, definitely. We all like ourselves our six-packs.
Okay.
So then from there, we're up here, hands behind our ears and just up. So we also do 10 of these.
Ooh. How come I'm the only one that breathes this heavy? Is it just because am I not Springbok caliber? Is that the reason why? You're making this look like it's just another Sunday.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, so we're on exercise number 3, Mzansi. We're just finishing 10 reps of sit-ups, working the core, but it doesn't stop there. And remind you don't need any equipment whatsoever. Exercise number 4 coming up. What you got for us, Mary?
High knees, don't go high knees. It's just high knees. Yep.
All right, I'm not going to talk now because I can't breathe anymore, so let's just keep working. Mary moving so fast, the mic back is falling out. It's power, it's force, it's going crazy out here right now. But we keep on working. How long would you do this run for? Is it a time thing?
20 seconds also.
20 seconds, all right. So keep running, we're 20 seconds, and we move over to that next exercise. I'm going to keep working while we get our assistant to sort out Mary's pack. But look at this, under pressure, the BMT is still there, and we keep running through the chaos. As you can see, Chadwin sorting us out, but we keep moving because that's what we're made of. Oh, I love it. All right, so Mary, as we've just finished the 4th exercise and I'm completely out of breath, we keep moving. What's next? What's next?
So
Thank you so much again, Chadwin, for sorting us out with the mic there. All right, what's next?
So now we're going down for squats.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Let's move the shoulder with the pot, and then you just squat down.
Let's move.
Yep.
All right. Woo!
10 reps, yep.
Now the blood has been pumping, we are moving, no equipment whatsoever, but let me tell you, it feels like we've already done a full session. This is incredible stuff. And let us not forget, Nolo right now, the captain of the team, as well as Mary, haven't even dripped 1 ounce of sweat. They haven't even breathed heavily. So making us common humans just look like we are absolute plebs. All right, we keep moving. I'm loving this. So getting inspired. What else you got for us?
Next, we're going to do jumping jacks from there.
Woo, okay, we keep moving.
Up there.
All right. Yes, Mzansi. And if you have been inspired by this, keep following the incredible journey of our Springbok women as they make their way on their tour today and go up against some of the absolute very best in the world and really see if they have what it takes. And I feel right now, just after these exercises already, you definitely have what it takes and some. Okay, we've done a good couple of exercises. We're still sticking with the body weight. You got anything else for us?
Yeah, I've got lunges for us now.
Woo! Okay, let's get this.
So
Forward
just,
lunges.
Yep.
Right. Awesome, Mzansi. Keep breathing as always. If you are burning, if you are feeling like you're out of breath, just go slow, but keep moving. The goal is to not stop. Keep burning those cows. And if you keep this up, I reckon if you're consistent with it, if you work on your diet and your goals, you might just look and achieve the incredible things that these 2 women have right now, representing our country, representing for so many women, giving that inspiration that we all need, and actually men as well right now, because I truly am inspired by this. Woo! I'm feeling this, Mary. Are you done with us yet?
Yeah, no, so it's basically that, those are exercises, and then we just go for 6 rounds.
What, 6 rounds? Wow, okay. So that's the bar, it's been set, and you 2 are absolutely incredible. To you and the rest of the team, I want to thank you for coming through this morning, giving Mzansi a bit of an idea of who you are about, what you are capable of, and I really, truly believe in everything you are capable of, and I want you to embody the power that you've got within you and unleash it on the world and show them what South Africa's about. Woo!
Thank you, man.
Yes, please, Mzansi, that's what it's about. I think we've earned ourselves a way to get into the kitchen, get some protein in, and get those muscles back on. I want to look like this. Let's go, let's go. That was awesome. Nice. So 5 more rounds.
Yeah, 5 more rounds, yeah.
All right, after that workout, yes, we need to put some protein back into the body, and Piwo and Jackie are here to make some protein pancakes. Hopefully, because we're a little bit nervous in the kitchen, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine, ladies. We got this. And then Kyle Deitch is stepping back into our studio. He is one of the most phenomenally creative and impressive performers we've ever connected with on this show, and we cannot wait to see what he's been up to and just to see that beautiful face again. Just look at him, man. We've missed you, kid. All that and a whole lot more on the way after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's always a happy Thursday when we get to do it together. And this morning, we are talking about beautiful stories here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. My friend, listen, when we talk about the 6th Joburg Film Festival, you cannot help but remember this specific story that we are celebrating. It is one that warms my heart, and I know it'll warm yours as well, because there was a young man who won a Young Achiever Award, and then he went on to possibly tell a story that I genuinely feel like is one that will not be forgotten ever, in fact. I'm talking about Ntokozo Mlaba. He is the person who went on to do one of the most beautiful speeches that caught the attention of Absa, the sponsor of the Joburg Film Festival. And this, my friend, has led us to be here today in celebrating the fact that this is one of the things that Absa said they would do, which was pledging 150,000 rand towards Ntokozo Mlaba's incredible cause. And my friend, you know what? You don't need to hear this from me, because this morning we're joined by two of the individuals that are in the story. It is, of course, the beautiful, amazing filmmaker Ntokozo Mlaba, as well as the group managing executive of brand and sponsorship at Absa. I am talking about, and rather brand and marketing, it is Candace Thurston. Everybody, please welcome them to the show. Guys, it is so good to see you. I love the story. It is absolutely incredible. Firstly, Candace, I love the red that you are in. You look stunning.
And then I wonder which color match.
You know what I mean? But Ntokozo, I want to start with you because, my friend, congratulations. 150,000 rand after sharing that you had a crowdfunding cause going on, and Absa said, we want to be part of that. Take us back to that moment when you were saying your speech, when you were part of that beautiful award that you were getting, and now look where you are, next to Candace, 150,000 rand pledged towards what you are doing. Take us back to it.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course.
So yeah, I got up on the stage and won the award. I didn't know that I was going to win. I didn't expect it, but when I got on the stage, I was just saying my thank yous, and I realized that there are quite important people in the room. So I just threw in a pitch of my next short film, which I've been developing for a year and researching for a year. And I told them that this is how much I need. And I just set it out, so hoping that maybe somebody will in the ether.
They'll pick it up. They'll pick up on it.
They'll pick it up, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess the connection was happening, and then Absa, at the end of the night when it was their address, called me up and said they'd be happy to settle the balance of the remainder of the money that we need for the film. So it's just so gratifying because the stresses are less now, and now we can just go tell a beautiful story.
I love that. And Ntokozo, you knew what you were doing, Moswena. You were there, ready to pitch.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be. You have to be. No.
I love it. And this is the thing, you always have to be ready for those moments,
Definitely.
right? But Candace, Absa, you guys are always ready to be there, supporting some of the most incredible things. I feel like you guys are sponsoring everything at the moment. Am I right in saying that, Candace?
I think sponsoring elements of empowerment. And that's what JFF was all about, the Johannesburg Film Festival.
Yes.
So we say our purpose is all about empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time.
Come on.
And that's how we really choose the partners that we want to really look at partnering with and taking them on the journey. So Khoza is absolutely the individual we want to stand behind and mentor. You know, in the creative space, it's not just about the movie, but also about the financial literacy that he might need. And many people in the creative agency need to really hone into and understand how they create the success for the next 10, 20, and 30 years.
I love that. And I think it's so beautiful that you guys were able to come together like this. I mean, it started off with you guys sponsoring the Joburg Film Festival, and now being able to finish off a story like this and allowing it to come together the way that it has, I think that it's absolutely beautiful. So shout out to you and your team doing big things. But this is why I also want to go to what you actually mentioned, which is your story matters. Let's get into that, because, you know, why would you say that it's important that all citizens are 100% getting into that, and also, more than anything, seeing the light in young people the way that you at Absa do?
Yes. So what we're really passionate about is Absa's not just a bank. We want to be your partner, your mentor on your life journey.
Yes.
So whether it be your movie that you need to complete or a next kind of project you're going into, whether it be your first home loan or vehicle finance, we want to walk that journey with you. And through initiatives like the Johannesburg Film Festival, we know it's not just about the event, but in the creative industry, it's creating so many jobs for so many individuals, from makeup artists to hairstylists to producers. So we really want to invest in those initiatives that are going to drive that sort of mentorship and partnership.
I love that. Oh, Betuna. And I think that South Africa needs that so much, especially when it comes to young people. So it's really beautiful to see. And Ntokozo, I want to come to you because, of course, now you've gotten this amazing sponsorship from Absa and you're able to move forward. Tell us about your upcoming project.
I think, well, that really aligns so well with the brand story of what Absa is doing. And just with what she's saying with the mentorship and the partnership, I really look forward to that because I'm very big on financial literacy and just insisting on my friends that this is actually a business. And we need to understand the value chain of how our industry works. I literally wrote a blog last week about this. So now we have the opportunity to tell this short film titled The Passage. It's actually a trilogy of short films that I'm making on my take of the issues that plague the hood. I'm really, really passionate. My heart goes out to the South Africans who are struggling, South Africans who look like me but don't have the same access to opportunities like me. So I have this opportunity and I have access to tell these stories for them. And it's our story, so it's so important for me to do this and do it right, do it well, so that maybe next year Absa can look at making it another 150 for another filmmaker, you know. So I really look forward to partnering with Absa beyond the film itself and just being an ambassador of change in communities in which we exist as South Africans and as South Africans who look like me. So I really look forward to just learning, growing, and making a change.
Ntokozo, I don't know which one you sound like. You sound like either the Young Voice Award winner or someone who's running for president. Which one is it? One of the two.
I mean, one of the two.
One of the two. Okay, perfect. That's amazing.
Why can't you be both?
Come on.
//
I love it. And of course, in your speech, you said you shared about crowdfunding, correct?
Yes.
So actually, I'm crowdfunding for my life at the moment, guys. So I don't know if Absa is looking for people to sponsor in that regard.
Zanele, you have to open up your Absa bank account.
Who says I don't have
Everybody out there.
one? Candace.
Well, I'm going to go check when I'm back
All
at the
right.
office.
You better, Candace. But Candace, we still have a little bit of time, so I do want to please ask you, you know, in terms of what you want to see with Absa and Africa. I was going to say South Africa, but this is the thing about you guys. You've taken over the whole continent. What do you want to see in the future of lives of young people like Ntokozo, you know, and what do you want to hopefully see in terms of you guys coming together with young people?
Yes. So what our big promise promise is we see an opportunity in every story. And by that, we're really investing a lot behind the youth of the continent.
Yes.
And through that, it's not just through the creative industry. We have many initiatives like La Atelier, which plays in the art space, which is a competition that we look at over 800 entrants to really, again, guide people in the art space. One of the other amazing initiatives we have is something called Ready to Work. We actually take individuals that are going into the work environment and mentor them from how to do a CV to how to pitch up at work and really driving that journey as I speak about. So for the continent, you know, we are proudly African, we are proudly South African, and we really want to show not just the continent but the globe, our power, our talent, and how we're really going to drive that through a brand like Absa. So I'm personally excited and passionate about it. Stories like Intercausa is why we say your story matters, Anele. And every single person, we want to drive through a human-centered empathy. We're not just a business, we're not just a brand. We are human-centered and we want to walk that journey with you. So super excited for more elements to come through Absa and through partnerships with Intercausa and yourselves, Anele.
Come on, guys, you sound like you're in Parliament, Manina. I love this, Mna. If this is the future of South Africa, it's looking very bright. Thank you very much.
Will you join us, Anele?
Please, I'm there. Oh my goodness. Spokesperson in the building. Hello. Togozo, you spoke about, you know, the young people that you want to inspire, how you're an ambassador for, you know, stories like this.
Definitely.
And I just want to say well done to you because it's absolutely beautiful to see you do that. And Candace, well done to you and your team. You guys are doing such incredible work. And like I said, I'm joining, guys. I'm joining the winning team, and you should join the winning team as well in terms of making sure that South Africa is moving forward and doing the things that need to be done, because it's such a beautiful thing to see in terms of young people 100% being sponsored by the likes of Absa and keeping us going in the right direction. Right about now, though, my friend, we continue on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and I'm talking about the fact that Graham is standing by in Cape Town.
Empower, empower, empower. Let's empower our body with the most important 3 Ps: protein, protein, and protein, because that's what you need. You've got to feel your strength with a delicious protein-packed pancake recipe right now. These pancakes are the perfect start to power your day on and off the field. People, Kutler, Jackie, have very kindly offered to throw themselves under the bus for us this morning and nervously try their hand at our protein pancakes. Thank you so much for taking us on board. I know you guys are blessed with BMT. Okay, so when these moments arrive, you're going to step up. Whether we get this right or it goes horribly wrong, it's going to be great TV, so I don't mind. Okay, so I think first things, we're going to put this on. And Tiff in the kitchen was saying a relatively low heat, so we'll keep it nice and low like that. And then we're going to put you to work. Okay, so Piwa, if you can please show the ingredients that are going. We've been practicing our beautiful hand gesture. Okay, so we've got yogurt, we've got honey, we've got vanilla essence, we've got protein powder. We've gone for, yeah, that's whey protein, but you could like do a pea protein or soy or something else like that. And then, of course, we've got the baking powder. And then the 4 eggs that we're going to be using. Who's going to be doing the whisking?
I will do the whisking.
Master Chef.
You see, who carries the centers always carry the physical load in the back line. Why?
Obviously.
Okay, so you can start mixing in all the wet ingredients. And as you do that, I've got to ask, because clearly you guys are at a stage of training. I mean, everyone is jacked at the moment. The level of physicality in this squad is intense. What does your daily diet look like? Start us with your breakfast.
Well, usually if I'm at home, I'm starting with a overnight oats that I make the evening before, and then afternoon usually your carbs, your like your green stuff, all the things that people don't like. And
but
then,
the body does, yeah.
and then yeah, just a protein like red meat or like fish and something like that. And evening it's a lighter meal, but mostly the same.
And I suppose you get to a level, Piwa, where you know your body so well, you know what you need. But you've also got a team of nutritionalists and people weighing in, and you've got other players who kind of can help in that regard. How much of a difference does your diet make especially when you're training, building towards kind of season like this?
Like, it's really important to put in exactly what your body's gonna need to put out. So,
I like that, yeah.
So you have to listen to the experts, because it's easy to say that I'll go on this diet or that diet, but not every diet is good for the kind of sports that we do. So food also plays a really good role in recovery. So what we eat actually helps us to perform at our best ability and to be able to go the next day.
That's so meek and gentle, eh? Jackie, I thought you were going to destroy those eggs, but you're being so calm and loving.
I need to credit my mom for teaching me this.
Really? What's your mommy's name?
Maritza.
Maritza Valgedaan. You nailed it with this one. That's looking good. So now we can mix in our dry ingredients. I think the notion of protein, we put the muscles through so much when you're doing this kind of training that you need to kind of feed the body and get that strength. But it's such a nuanced space. I remember one of, I think it was Bismarck Duplessis talking to me about the difference between 2 kilograms. If he was 2 kilograms more than 128 or whatever, he was too heavy and he wasn't fast enough. But if he was 2 kilograms below, he wasn't strong enough. So in your position, how do you need to kind of gear up? What are the attributes that you are trying to grow? Because it's a balance of strength and speed all the time.
Yeah, you have to just, like Yaki said, take in the green veggies that are going to allow your body to feel good. Because I feel like if you do feel good, you will do good. Yeah. And it's really important that in that process, you also make sure that you don't get too heavy, because yes, feeling heavy after eating a lot is very risky, because then you're not going to perform at your best ability. So eat right, and you'll do right.
Yeah, I love it. You're dropping the memes today. I absolutely love it. She has TikTok ready. She has been rehearsing the TikTok dance and the choreography. It's there. I can see it's actually bubbling under. All right, that looks great. Hey, I think that looks really, really good. So what you can do, the recommendation ordinarily when making pancakes or flapjacks or anything, is to let it rest a little bit. So it becomes a little bit thicker, but we're just going to roll with it because I think it's going to be great entertainment value. Let's pop a little bit of this in there if we can. Let's get you a knife for now. There we go. We'll grab a spoon from the other side. And we've got a bit of heat going there. And then this is normally where my pancake making abilities fall horribly short. I just really struggle. So with these flapjacks, I'm hoping you guys have got it. And then we've got our little cup there to measure out, and you can drop it in the pan and let it go. I love that. When a camp gets together, I'd love to say that you're all on the same side, but there is so much competition, thankfully, within the group that you drive each other forward. So it begs the question, okay, who is the most hangry in the group? Is there, I think there is a particular person, but is there that one player that you know, like I'm the kind of guy on set where someone will just shove like something in my mouth, I'll just eat this, dude, just please. I'm like, why must I eat it, why? I get very hangry like that. Who is that player in the squad?
I would like to say Taylor Kingsley, our vice captain. Like, she knows that food is ready without being told that the food is ready. And if the food is not ready when she believes the food is ready, then we have to deal with a different personality that is a little bit scary and cranky. But on a normal day, she's really chilled. But
you almost want to keep her hungry then before a match. Just let that loose on the field.
Yes, but again, we might be all at risk, not just the opposition, like everyone. So you'd be scared to make any mistake, because Tay is...
She'll come for you.
Yeah.
But every team needs that, man. Every team absolutely needs that. That being said, who has the strangest rituals? Because I'm blown away by the pre-match and pre-training. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and I know these things work because that's why they exist in sport. But who's the player that has the most kind of out there pre-match ritual, do you think?
Maybe Makawe. I think she's one of our loud players. But I think everyone has a different kind of ritual. I mean, me, for instance, I shower before every game, so...
You shower before every game?
Yeah, I think that's... Like, I don't leave the hotel if we don't shower or anything. So.
I can just see the full bus with one empty seat, and everyone knows and is waiting. Do you think we can flip them? I think we can flip them. Who's going to give it a try? Okay, go for it, Jax.
I think Pure needs to flip it, though.
Just try one, girl. Oh, look at that. That's actually looking really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Look at that. Yay. This is why we ask backline players to do this. Yes. No, that was rude.
Wow.
Sorry, that was very rude. Hey, listen, I played hooker at school, so don't even joke. Don't even joke. I think we are on to something really special here. And again, I have to reiterate that you can swap out the protein. We've used a whey protein, but if you want a vegetable protein, I mean, there are some amazing protein kind of variants out there. And then you are going to be making about 30 of these every morning now from here on out, because the team will demand them. It's been so cool to connect with you. Thank you so much for sticking around and having a little bit of fun with us. I hope you don't crash by 11 o'clock this morning. We'll let you take a bucky with some pancakes. But please pass our best on to the rest of the team. You guys are doing amazing stuff at the moment. We are so proud of you, and we cannot wait to see you test yourself against the best in the world. If I'm getting goosebumps, I can only imagine how your hearts must be feeling right now. So thank you so much for being that for us. We love you guys. It's looking absolutely amazing. I think this is what it should look like, which we would have got there. I think given us another 2 minutes, we would have gotten to that exact spot. Would either of you like to taste?
I'll taste.
Oh, that didn't take very long. There we go. And we even put a gorgeous little face on it there for you. Here we go. Oh, there, you've got your knife.
You
and
can
fork.
even
Go for
try
it.
some honey.
Yes, please, Yaki.
Oh,
Look
you
at that.
see, this is...
Backline taking care of each other.
That must be
It's
love,
getting
hey?
there.
That must be love.
Getting goofy.
It's the dummy.
There you go.
There we go. And our dietitian, I just want to say, it's healthy, very healthy, so
It is.
can do this.
It's made with the 3 Ps. Oh, man. Well, from these beautiful faces, it seems another beautiful face has stepped into studio. So good to be connecting with this young man. I thought I'd give you an out in case it didn't land, but there it lands beautifully. But we've got another one of our Expresso favorites joining us in studio right now.
Look who it is, the beautiful face that we promised, the beautiful voice. How you doing, bro?
What's happening, champ?
Oh, so excited to have you, man. How are you doing this morning?
Thank you. Super, bro. Couldn't be happier. These guys brought me here real early
to
perform for you guys. So, yeah, we're excited.
Oh, that's every reason for you to stick around, Mzansi. There's so much to look forward to, especially this, and it's going to get even better. We're going to dive into this man's world, what he's been up to, have a chat, and then see him perform. So that means you don't need to go anywhere. We'll see you just around the corner.
We're in Zanzibar for Tropical Island of Treasure. Are you? Did you just swim here from South Africa? There's an easier way to find fame and your share of a smooth R1 fortune. Simply upload your audition to social media, explain why you're a match for our celebs. Add the hashtag Tropica and tag @MyTropica, and we could see you in Zanzibar. Buy a Tropica now and enter to be on the island.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Yes, I am buzzing, man. I am so inspired by women in sport across the globe, but in South Africa at the moment, there's magic happening there. So, of course, on that note, we put it to you guys this morning. If there are any kind of sporting or fitness goals that you're looking to smash, I never put it to this guy because there's always something that he's smashing. But I think undoubtedly there is nothing quite like that line, that feeling of finishing a crossing line, finishing a cycle tour, a 2 Oceans. So let's hear from the OG. Thank you, Gary.
Gary, welcome.
He weighs in with Break the 2-minute plan. plank position.
Wow.
You got this, son. You got it, boy. You can do it.
Yeah. Adrian Roland Botma says, good morning, Expresso fam. I won 2 juvenile South African ballroom championships. Nice. Well done. Representing.
If you don't mind saying so yourself, hey?
Yeah, but
good
do
for
say
you,
so
bro.
myself.
Fernando Levendal saying, yep, the Comrades Marathon.
That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a proper one. And then Fatah Khan says, feel good breakfast show. Good morning, guys, from Richards Bay.
Yeah.
I think that's just the goal.
That's it. Just being at Richards Bay in the morning is a beautiful thing.
I'll take it.
I want to put this to our Wunderkind in Johannesburg. Zanele, you gorgeous thing. We want to find out from you. There you go. First of all, you look absolutely gorgeous, as you do every morning. Thank you for putting us to shame. I want to ask, do you have a fitness background? What were you like in high school? Were you like on the stands? Were you on the field? Were you a sprinter?
So I played, gentlemen, looking so handsome this morning. Hi there. I played every sport under the sun. I did hockey, I did netball. I, in fact, even, used to play on the side of the field. I was even doing first aid, guys, hey, so running there onto the field when people were like, bleeding and things like that in rugby. It was rough and tough, but I was there. I was doing the things that needed to be done, okay? So in terms of what teams did I play for hockey and netball, that doesn't matter, because now this morning, I ran 500 kilometers, just smashing a young fitness goal there, 1-2, 1-2. So, Ryland Graham, I know you two are fitness bunnies just like me, running 500 kilometers in the morning. Raul, you're the fastest man on sand. Graham, you've done so many things, and not forgetting me with my 500 kilometers. Gentlemen, I want to throw it back to you, and I want to ask, do you have any sports goals that you want to smash out in 2024?
Wow, I would love to run 500 Ks in the morning.
Yeah, this show does kind of feel like that a little bit, to be quite honest, but more of an emotional kind of mission. But I've been dying to ask you this, dude. Do you still set goals for yourself?
I do, and I have to, and I'm constantly adopting the mantra of forever the student. I do not believe that we can ever learn everything and all of it. And I think we've got some people agreeing with me right now. So I've got a new goal, and it's just challenging the body constantly. I've gone through my speed phase. I've made teams. I've done incredible championships. My personal goal is to learn how to do a planche. It's a calisthenic move where you actually do basically like a push-up without your feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, okay? Zanella, we're going to send you on your way as you do some Google research on what a planche is and how on earth you train to do that.
Do it while you're running your 500 Ks tomorrow
YouTube
morning.
is my friend.
It does require a 500K warm-up. Okay, well, before we planche, I'm going to let you go and practice your planche. You can get into
Thank you. Let me go
the news headlines in just a moment. And, of course, you can keep it coming. If you've got some fitness goals that you're looking to attain this year, it might be closer than you think, but it starts with that first step. Even 500Ks in the morning starts with that first step, so just take it. Go out there, you will feel better for it. 1K today, 2Ks tomorrow, you'll feel better. But right now, of course, it is the top of the hour, time to get into those news headlines.
Thank you so much. Yes, and starting off with official duties being national headlines, and the Minister of Health, Joe Fala, says 270 of 800 doctors who haven't been absorbed by the department after completing their community service have already been employed. Now, he says this follows an additional 3.7 billion rand allocation to the department during the February national budget, and this for the recruitment and compensation of health workers. Now, Fala was answering oral questions in the National Assembly yesterday, and he said provinces had already advertised 1,100 posts, and the process to employ hundreds of doctors would continue until month end. While sticking to national headlines, in view of the general elections taking place on the 29th of May, the Independent Electoral Commission, otherwise known as the IEC, has detailed how the electorate can apply for special votes. Now, special votes allows registered voters to apply to vote on a predetermined day before election day. And to qualify, you must be unable to visit your local voting station due to a disability. Now, special votes can be cast at home, and IEC officials will visit you at your residence or at a voting station. Now, special votes and home visits will take place on the 27th and 28th of May, and you must apply for a special vote before the 3rd of May. Well, carrying on to the headlines and moving to international fronts. Now, one of Tanzania's top musicians, Zuku, has been banned from performing in Zanzibar and for 6 months following a show that was deemed inappropriate. Now, her performance on Kendwa Island last month featured sexually explicit language and gestures. Now, the artist and the Zanzibar Arts Council said it went against the island's customs, traditions and culture. And Zuku had since apologized and said her goal was to entertain and not mislead. Now, Zanzibar was ranked by several international tourist magazines last year as one of the top 10 travel destinations in Africa. Well, carrying on with international headlines, the United Nations World Food Programme, otherwise known as the WVP, says Israel's army has prevented it from delivering food aid to northern Gaza. Now, the WVP says 14 trucks were denied entry at the Wadi Gaza checkpoint, and they were diverted to another route and later stopped by a large crowd of desperate people who looted some 200 tons of food. Now, the UN has warned that some 576,000 people in the Gaza Strip, that being a quarter of the population, are one step away from starvation. Well, in a more uplifting note, Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Davido has revealed a generous pledge of almost 4 million rand to orphanages across his homeland. Now, in a statement posted on X, the artist-born David Adedejo Edeleke declared his foundation's commitment to these institutions, highlighting it as an annual contribution to Nigeria's welfare. Now, in 2021, he ended up collecting some 2.5 million rand from his friends and fans after he shared a post, or a series of posts on X, which was then called Twitter, asking people to send him money so he could clear his Rolls Royce from a port. Well, Davido topped up 600,000 rand of his own money, and to everybody's total amazement and praise, he then donated the total of over 3 million rand to various orphanages in Nigeria. Now, Davido's dedication to social causes remains unwavering since. I appreciate the creativity here, but more so the philanthropy. I love it, and I'm here for it. For now, though, we are here for the rest of the headlines when it comes to sport. Here's G-Man with the latest.
Thank you so much. Well, let's start with some champagne football from the Champions League. In Manchester City, they breezed into their 7th consecutive Champions League quarter-final, and they look good. They dispatched FC Copenhagen 3-1 to advance 6-2 on aggregate. Manuel Akanji and Julian Alvarez securing the early lead, with Erling Haaland adding his 29th goal of the season. Then in contrast, Real Madrid, they narrowly progressed with a 1-1 draw against RB Leipzig, securing a 2-1 aggregate victory. Despite a rather underwhelming performance by their standards, the 14-time champions did just enough to overcome their Bundesliga rivals on the night, so they march on through. Now, speaking of not marching in this case, All Black star Geordie Barrett now faces a 3-week ban following a red card in the Hurricanes' thrilling Super Rugby win over the weekend. So initially cautioned with just a yellow for a high tackle on Reds fullback Jordan Petaya, it was since, or has since, been upgraded post-review. This FPRC assessed the player's actions as being directly contacting the head with high force, which we know is a no-no. So Barrett, with 57 All Black tests under his belt, will have to sit out the matches against the Blues, the Crusaders and Rebels, all pretty important encounters. Now we move over to cricket that's currently unfolding in India as we speak. Fast bowler Mark Wood stepped in for Ollie Robinson as England's sole change for their 5th and final test against India in Dharamsala, aiming to salvage some pride at least in the series, with India already victorious at 3-1. England faces an uphill battle in the chilly Himalayan town. And then veteran James Anderson, he is still in the fold, now nearing a historic 700 test wickets. What a milestone. That'll put him in some significant company just behind Sri Lanka's Muttiah Muralitharan and Australian great Shane Warne. I mean, come on. The final test is, as I said, underway as we speak. Now, we are, of course, in an Olympic year and a Paralympic year, and it seems that Paralympic Russian and Belarusian athletes competing neutrally at the Paris Paralympics face exclusion from the opening and closing ceremonies per International Paralympic Committee, or IPC, guidelines. So despite competing under that neutral banner due to NPC suspensions post the Ukraine invasion, participation is now conditional on no war support. However, the IPC prohibits neutral Paralympic athletes, or NPAs as they are called, from involvement in any of the ceremonies, which is heartbreaking in itself, but of course speaks to a much larger, darker narrative. So at least it's casting light on that. Well, it is a brand new day, and I think all eyes at the moment on our weather front. Let's see what we have in store and if there are any warnings we need to take heed of.
Thank you so much, Jimen. Yes, and one last time, let's dive into all things weather. Now, the SA Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms with hail, strong damaging winds, as well as heavy downpours and flash flooding expected to cause damage to property, blowing off roofs, as well as flooding of susceptible roads and bridges. Now, this over the eastern half of both the Free State and Northwest Province, Gauteng, the north of KwaZulu-Natal, and the Highveld of Mpumalanga. Now, on top of this, extreme high fire danger conditions are also expected over the central and eastern parts of the Free State and Northwest, as well as the Tsansabane and Gamada local municipalities of the Northern Cape and the Dr. Beyers Nordia, the Inquba Yatemba, and the Enoch Mgijima local municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Well, from our weather news, we dive one last time into our favorite part of this morning, and that's our sunrise view of the hour. And look at this one by Marno, all the way from Botswana. Yeah, we're going international once again, and so grateful for it. It looks like this shot was taken before the sun is even pictured into the sky, but it's lighting it up and giving us all that magic and promise of the day. Thank you so much for sending it through, and we'll do it all again for another round in the morning, and use that number 060-408-8860 to share your most incredible sunrise view with us. For now, though, it's one last chance to dive into those temperatures that you can expect on your side of town.
All right, now just in case you thought we were done talking sport this morning, we're not, okay? And if you think you are the biggest Diski fanatic out there, then prove it. Because you could score big when you play Sports Stake 8 Fixture List 696. And I'm being specific for a reason, because there is an estimated jackpot of over 1.3 million rand today.
That is perfect. That is exactly the amount that we all need, right? So get yourself into the game, right? And head to the nationallottery.co.za website to play. And you can stand a chance of winning this estimated jackpot. And a reminder that it's over 1.3 million rand. And you can also claim some bragging rights. So that will allow you to be in your game, but only if you play now. Get involved.
Go put your money where your mouth is, yo.
Yeah.
No better way to take in sports and no better way to take in music than with this young man. Kyle Dosh is back in the house. Look at him, man. Oh, we've missed this guy. He's got some incredible new tunes to, I think, soak us in this morning.
I can't wait for it. I cannot wait, but the superstars don't stop there. We've got Denise Zimba also standing by, and Josie. We're going to touch base with the singer, the actress, the model, doing the most, and of course, celebrities are happening all around, and we are here for it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back. I think there's a reason why we are beaming from ear to ear. Joining us right now is multi-award-winning artist and just wonderful human being, Kyle Date. She is known for, obviously, his versatility, a very distinctive voice, and a unique blend of contemporary pop, some beautiful retro synth wave. He is too cool for school. That's his superpower. He is just one of the most awesome individuals in the industry. We love you, kid.
This guy.
Can we get a round of applause to welcome this young man back? You're a special one, buddy. How are you, my friend? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a while, and always good to see these lovely faces. I mean, see these guys, they make us smile just off camera. Never mind the people at home on camera. Yeah, it's always good to be in Cape Town and to visit you guys. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Ah, thank you, man. And you look like you're in the mood for some good things, right?
Yeah.
The man is in the mood. Why am I saying this? Because it's the title of a new album that we are absolutely ecstatic about. We're celebrating it and wondering, why have you taken so long, man? We've needed you. We've wanted this album for years now, but how come now you decided to unleash your magic on us?
I don't know, I think it's maybe because I'm going a bit against the grain. Everyone is like, forget about albums now, let's go for singles. But for me, it's just been like, I can't hold on to the music anymore. You know, we've been doing the single thing, and I think it's time. We're not going to release everything at once, so we will still be doing like a waterfall release so that there's fresh stuff coming out throughout the first half of the year. But yeah, by the end of June, we're going to have, well, the intro's out, so 13 more songs, which is going to be
Does it get any easier? You know, if we speak about Dangerous, okay, because it's like releasing a baby into the world, and you're the kind of guy who I'm sure does a lot of overthinking as well, because you're looking at all the pieces on the board constantly, and why people want to collaborate with you is because you have that kind of ability for an overview. But when it comes to your own music and releasing, how challenging is that to get to a point, or is it not at all? Do you just hear something and go, okay, we're there, it's done?
Oh, that's definitely not the case. I mean, even with Dangerous, we went back to the drawing board. We had the song finished. We're like, okay, cool, this master sounds great. And then we went into studio and we're like, maybe the beat sounds a bit flat. So we reproduced the entire track, and then we went for the old version.
Oh, you see, but sometimes you need that validation, but you just need to know.
It was one of those things. And for me, I normally go for songs that I can keep on repeat. And if that's happening for me, then I get more of a better feeling about the song. And
for sure.
So those are the kind of tracks that you're gonna expect on the album.
That's a good note, because you do find yourself just playing these songs on repeat and jamming to it, and you don't get bored of it as well.
It has to be your favorite song. You know, it's gonna be someone's favorite song. They're gonna listen to it on repeat. So
completely.
Always
so
try.
true.
It's an algorithm.
Now, one thing you've done beautifully is worked with incredible artists, man, and obviously excluding yourself in this category. And you've done the same thing with some of your songs. I see there's one called Hold Your Hand. And you've collabed with some really cool peeps. I think it's Panic as well as Palachrome, I believe. So again, bringing collaborations to the forefront, working with incredible people. It's something you've been really good at, is finding that sort of recipe for success within the music and that expression. What's the reason for the collabs this time, and who else can we maybe look forward to? Because I know you're working with some good peeps, bro. I got to get some scoop from you. Come on, come on.
Do you still have to look for them, or do they come line up at your door?
Depends.
Have you been to his house? There's a line of artists waiting outside. Literally right now.
They're outside.
Wake up!
They're in the studio.
There's three outside studio right now, just waiting because they know you're here.
No, for me, it's like, music is a natural thing. I love being in the studio with different people and trying to bring something out from nothing, pretty much, and to use other people's creative abilities to enhance what's going on. And I think that's what music's about. I mean, I know there are artists that like to write by themselves and they start with guitar, and some songs happen like that. But there's something real magic when it's like it starts from scratch, and then by the end of the session, you have something.
That didn't exist. And I think that's what we love about our work, is it's so collaborative. And you know that the sum of the parts, you know, it turns into something else. And you just don't know what that's going to be, which is a beautiful thing. I kind of think, as I'm sitting here looking at you, you were kind of a front runner for the kids of today in terms of how you can live your life now. You've obviously got a medical background. You could have gone a very different route. 100%. But this feels like the most authentic version of yourself. And it's not to say that anything you study or do is ever wasted.
No.
But it feels like we live in an era where you can do anything at the moment. Is there a part of you that still thinks about the rest of that, what you could be doing?
There is, but I'm still practicing, so I still see patients on the daily. I'm still playing football. I'm still making music, so I've managed to kind of balance that. And I have a baby now, so I'm fathering also.
What?
So we just added that in the mix. Yeah, little Presley is a year and a month old already.
Bro, you need to work in like the circus, bro. You're just juggling everything right now. Wow. That is absolutely impressive. I honestly must say that. That is something to respect. I think you're doing it with the utmost pride and the raw authenticity, which is, I think, making it a little bit easier, which sounds crazy in terms of what you're actually doing.
I think that's what it's about, though, bro. When you're being, I mean, you'll hear it in the music, when an artist is being true to themselves, their longevity and their lifespan in their craft, I think, lasts longer, and we can see one-hit wonders per se, where they're trying to be something.
They're just feeding off
I'm
a piano on TikTok.
And,
I'm sorry if your next track is. I'm sorry, it's too soon. It's too soon. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And check, watch the first track he drops now. It's going to come with a very particular beat. No, I love the fact that you've represented this and you've made it work, because we understand what it means to the artists following behind you. Never mind those that you've collaborated with and launched and been a part of it. And you are still so freaking young, dude, which I love. Young enough to get up and perform for us right now. So I'm going to send you on your way.
Let's go.
Oh, man, he is incredible. A creative genius, yes. But I think he represents, and why we keep plugging into him on this show, is the collaborative space that music offers. You are only as good as the baseline, the average that you represent when it comes to our music industry. And unless you're bringing that average up with you, you're going to be a one-hit wonder. You're going to come and you're going to go. But there is this momentum in South African music at the moment that is undeniable, and the world loves it. You know what? I'm in the mood.
I'm in the mood. Let's go. It's going to get dangerous. You're going to enjoy it. But sit back and make the most of it. This is Carl Dage. Enjoy.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the first single off of the album titled In the Mood. It's called Dangerous, and we hope you're having a good morning. Enjoy. Peace out.
How did someone like you end up with someone like me? Ooh, if your heart had space, I could give you all my energy. Guess we can't always get what we wanted. Didn't feel it all just to give it all away. This love is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Ooh, this love is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Yeah, you know what you're doing, keep on doing it. You know you drive me insane. You know what you're doing, keep on doing it. You know we got what it takes. I don't wanna see this through with anybody but you. Yeah, my heart's exploding. Tell me what you're finna do. But you can't always get what we wanted. Didn't feel it all just to give it all away. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Ooh, this love is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. You know what you're doing, keep on doing it. You know you drive me insane. You know what you're doing, keep on doing it. You know we got what it takes. Hey, yeah, danger, danger. Oh, come on, danger, danger.
Yes, please. Oh, man.
That's one of those songs that you're just going to be playing and playing. You're going to be stuck in your head all day. You're not going to be able to get it out, and you're not going to be upset by it either.
Not at all. No, it's just going to keep you in the mood for the whole day. I absolutely love more music coming from Kyle, which we are loving, the fact that we get that privilege, and we're going to do it as well because, again, we're going to be connecting with Denise Zimba in Johannesburg as well. She's one of those people that makes you feel mundanely under-talented because she can sing, she's a model, she's an actress, she's probably an entrepreneur and doing everything else as well.
I feel like all the talent coming through today is doing exactly that, but it doesn't stop there because we are still serving you and giving you some tips on how to get ahead in life. Yeah, interesting conversation, pertinent one, and it's just for you. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Your feel-good breakfast show. Do you see the good mood that I'm in, right? First and foremost, it's because you're here, Expresso family, but also because of the lady who is sitting to my right. So when we talk about the best to do it in the entertainment industry, you cannot help but mention this queen right here. She is gorgeous. She's hilarious. She's a SAFTA Award-nominated actress. She sings, she dances. There is nothing she cannot do. Everybody, please welcome to Expresso. It is Denise Zimba.
Thank you for having me. What a nice intro.
Oh, babe. And then also not forgetting a mom of note.
Yeah, mom of 2, 4 years old and 7 months old.
Denise, but I don't understand. How do you look like this, but you've had 2 children?
Okay, to be very honest, 3 spanks.
No!
3 bras. Baggy, baggy, baggy.
Baggy, baggy, baggy.
Baggy, 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 baggy. Don't be
please,
fooled.
You look
It's all hanging, trust me.
Denise, you are entertainment royalty.
Thank you.
And this is why, like, I made sure I dressed up like the queen is coming.
Oh, you
'cause
look
the queen
good.
is
You
here.
look really good.
Thank you, babe. But you look amazing, and I want to know because, of course, you know, you're somebody who brings so much to the entertainment industry from all the spheres. So let's speak about this. Which one did you start with? Singing, dancing, acting? Which one? Which one came first?
Okay, so if it was from childhood, dancing.
Okay.
I used to dance in my room like all day, any chance I could get. But in terms of stepping into the industry, it was singing, dancing, and, you know, dabbling with acting. I studied musical theatre, so it's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And then I was able to channel on kind of what opportunity came.
Yeah.
And Fly Chicks came.
I was going to ask, what was your very first gig in the industry?
I was a burlesque girl, actually.
Ooh.
I can't even say it, but it's
I can't.
Yeah.
All right. There's children, Denise. But Denise, I know as well, you auditioned many times for Generations.
Yeah.
How many exactly before you got Mary Kumede?
Oh, wow. How many? I don't know. Too many to count.
Really?
But I had this wonderful casting director. Her name is Poppy Pagati. And she, you know, it makes such a difference when you're in this industry, as much as you've kind of studied the arts, to have someone in the inside who can kind of see your potential and believe in you. And I would go clock in and clock out just to, like, you know, get a chance to be on Generations. And every time she said, you're not ready, you're not ready, you're not ready.
Sure.
And it used to break me. But Lord and behold, I got an opportunity, and she was like, this is the one, now you got it.
Oh,
and with her
babe.
grace and patience and just like being in my corner, I was able to get that opportunity.
Come on.
So thank you, Bobby. I saw you the other day at 4 Weeks Walk. So good to see you. You changed my life.
It changed my life. I love it. You changed the lives of so many people, my babes, because what I think is so special about you is the fact that you never tried to be anyone else. You were Denise, and you were this crazy, amazing, beautiful lady who brought all the energy. And of course, it was you going from acting to presenting all of these different things. What made you decide that you wanted to take a break from doing what you love so much?
I think there was a point in my career where I just felt like I was just doing too much, and I was in an environment that wasn't feeding, like, you know, what I really wanted to do in terms of my growth.
Sure.
So I was projecting a side of me that was just not reflecting who my true self is, and I felt like I needed to step back. And I had someone who gave me such a great advice, and this person said, like, if you are at your highest, leave them there. Let them remember you at that highest place, and take the break. And just like collect yourself. And so that's what I did. And in the interim, I fell in love, I got married, I had kids.
Yes.
I traveled a lot, but now I'm back.
I'm back like all in the building, honey.
Building.
Exactly. And I love it because you came back with a bag, doing such big things already.
Thank you.
But with you traveling and being in South Africa at the same time, doing these things, what can we expect from Denise Zimba in 2024?
Oh, so much. Music, acting, theatre.
Even theatre based.
Yeah, behind the
busy.
scenes,
I love
production.
Yes.
Podcasts. There's just a lot to do, but I have to manage it well enough that I'm still able to be available for my children, because I really feel like as a mom, I'm being raised by such a, you know, strong-minded and, you know, like a mom who is there all the time. I just want to have that for my kids. So it might take time. That's fine. I have all the time in the world, but my kids come first, and then work comes after.
I love that. And I love that you say, you know, you have time. Because a lot of people think that there isn't time.
No, there's time. Pace yourself. Don't rush, you know. There's so much to live for. Life is not all about grind, work.
Yes.
Like, you know, build your family, build your life, you know, build your base. And then, like, dabble and work and travel and everything else.
Yes, I love that. Denise, we love you so much.
Is that it?
I know. I wish we could, like, sit here and talk about stories and secrets. I know. Is there anything we're missing before we let you go very quickly?
No, just for those of you who want to be in this industry, you know, take your time, work hard, create a great support structure, pace yourself, love yourself, and know that you are placed on this earth to do amazing things. So give your gift, share it with the world.
Thank you for sharing your gift with us.
Thank you
we
for
love
having
you so
me.
much. And I know we'll never forget the moment. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. I would do it now, but lace glue is stuck.
Tough, babe.
I'm gonna peel my skin off this time.
A queen who's given so much of herself to the entertainment industry and still has so much to give in 2024. I know I am excited to see it, and you should be as well. It is Denise Zimba. For now, though, we still have so much going on your Feel Good Breakfast show. You stay exactly where you are because, baby, Cape Town is standing by.
Oh, what an incredible soul. I love that conversation. Thank you so much. We're going to be diving into more of that in a bit. But for now, though, let's dive into another conversation that I think we can all do with. Let's level up. And whether it's in a professional environment or just simple tasks for every day, being prepared and on the ball will get you one step closer to success. Yes. And here to share some tips, tricks, and ways to prioritize life, we've got transformational life coach Paulo Mendez in the building alongside Grant Hines, who's showing us the tech world of things and how we can get digital to assist us. Gents, this is awesome. How are we doing this morning?
We're not redundant just yet, Paulo. We still need people, and thank you for proving that point. Because this all comes to bear when you merge the two. For me, technology is releasing the genius. It is taking some of those tasks that will take me 9 hours to do that seem so mundane and easy to someone else. It's a different world we live in. But this speaks to the notion of all of us having access to amazing tools to want to be able to level up. Where does that process start? When we think about leveling up, what should that mean to us? Is it always a career thing, or does it speak to kind of a bigger notion in your mind?
I think life is about growing, right?
Yes.
In nature, everything is either growing or dying, right?
Wow.
How far should a tree grow? As tall as its species can go.
Yeah.
How much fruit should it bear? As much as it's able to. How much should an animal go? How much should a child go? How much should a human being develop? As much as we can. Why stay stuck?
I love that. As I saw it, and this is a weird analogy to use, but we were in a beautiful open space yesterday, and I saw this bird taking off off the ocean. And you know, an ocean bird.
Yeah.
And it was the fastest it's ever flown. And I was thinking, every time a bird flies in nature, it flies as fast as it can. When it runs in nature, it runs as fast as it can. Because we want to achieve
Nature's
that.
acting out its fullest potential.
I love that.
And I'm hoping that we can do that after this conversation too. So bring it on. So let's talk about something more practical. I mean, we have strategies to both business and personal life, right? Grandines, you might have more of a technical side to addressing that. Paula, you might have more of a philosophical side to saying that, to addressing that. But I feel like they could both merge. So maybe getting answers from both of you right now could kind of allow us to navigate this space. So when it comes to these strategies, business, personal, Paula, maybe to start with you, how do we better solve, navigate, and address these issues in our lives?
Well, the best thing for me is to get clarity on your priorities. So I learned to do this. It's called the winning the week method.
Okay.
So it's a quick 5-step process. You sit down on a Sunday evening, for example, and you take half an hour, plan the week ahead. What are your top priorities? What are the things that are your fixed commitments? Then next, you look at the previous week. What are the lessons you can learn, the hits and the misses, right? And then take into this next week. So now the week you're planning, you learn the lesson from the previous week, and you look at it, what is really a priority? What was just busy work? So now you can target the priorities for the week with the lessons learned from the previous work. And now you prepare and plan. And then you said, okay, what is a must do? What are my top priorities? What can I delegate? What can I let somebody else take care of it so I can make the best use of my skill and effort? And then you do your planning.
I love
and
that.
then execute the plan.
And execute, just follow through, but it's so much easier to follow through when you have a clear plan. We have more tools available to us now that matter. It's not nice to haves. It's not some marketing gimmick. We're getting real now.
Yeah, well, like, it's nice to have really fancy tools, but knowing why you're capturing this data and using it actually makes those things more important. So just having that technology is
for the sake of, yeah.
Why have a car and have nowhere to drive?
Or your
right?
license even.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's important about this technology. And the S24 Ultra, Samsung has packed in some incredible AI features.
Okay.
One of them is called AI, well, it's called AI Assist, is what they call it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. Am I allowed to show you some stuff now?
Please show us some stuff, because I saw you being very busy while I was doing an interview a little bit earlier with the incredible Springbok woman.
Exactly.
But I'm still very much focused on what I'm doing in the mix, to be taking down notes, to be thinking about what I did wrong, what we could do better, how they reacted.
But like, if you're in a session with Paolo and you're listening to him talk, or watching this insert and you want to get some great information and come back to it later, this is a great tool. So I use the voice recorder on the S24 Ultra to record that conversation that you had with the Springbok team, and the AI helped me transcribe it. So here's an entire transcription of what it is. And then it helped me summarize it. So using the AI, I'm able to then summarize everything that you spoke about. Because also, obviously, you went a little bit off script and you spoke about more interesting things.
Why did you say obviously there?
Obviously.
That's how we...
I find that, like, a good TV host goes off script because they catch on to something that's more interesting, right? And you did. Nutrition and diet for athletes, the role of nutrition in sports and performance. You started talking about that kind of stuff away from just the cooking. So what I've done here is I can add this to Samsung Notes, right? And we'll add this all to Samsung Notes. And then using I'm just going to select all the text right now so that you have all the information. Using this AI button, I can then auto-format this or continue to summarize it into something else. So I'll auto-format or summarize this to, I don't know, let's see. Here we go. So this is way more and easily digestible. And then what I'll do is I'll just replace the current text, and I've got all the main talking points along with the audio file. So if you are in a lecture, for instance, and the lecturer loves to waffle, talk about themselves or something, like, you can record it, you can take your own notes, but being able to get the most important notes out of that conversation or interesting information and come back to it will help you study. And we've taken an 8-minute insert and made it into 8 points that are of relevance and takeaways to
So we actually made a point. That is a massive thing, first of all. We made 8 whole points. I'm looking at you nod your head here. never mind the people that you could help with this kind of notion, this technology,
yeah.
how much better could you be at your own job having these sorts of tools? Why are you getting so excited right now, man?
Well, while we were waiting for the segment, Grant was showing me how to actually use. I was telling him I love using notes. I make notes about everything.
For sure.
As a life coach, I'm always on the go. I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm watching trainings.
Absorbing,
And in
yeah.
sessions with clients, often the client is telling their story, explaining where they are, and being able to summarize it and get the gems out of the precious conversation. The whole conversation is important, but what are the gems? What are the key points? And be able to pinpoint that and then deliver back to the client. I'm used to doing that in my brain through experience, but technology, like you said, makes it quicker, makes it faster, makes it more effective.
I just can't speak back to us with your gorgeous accent. That's the only thing.
Only.
Yeah.
Well, they can, because it records the audio.
Yes, you have to translate option.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Look, it's literally like having an assistant with you. If you've got an S24 device, it's like literally having an assistant with you, taking those notes and keeping.
So I fell in love with my personal assistant.
You won't be
And
the
it's
first.
finally okay.
You won't
My wife
be
is
the
okay
first.
with that.
Well, one of the things I was telling Paolo backstage, one of the other use cases is, I think we were talking, he's so inspirational.
For sure.
Like publishing a book is challenging. Being able to maybe just voice record or voice note yourself for an hour, talking about getting gems out of yourself, because that's also how I think out loud, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
And being able to just voice it out, transcribe it, then summarize that transcription and go, wow, those are gems that I can now put into a book chapter, put those into chapters, and now I can start the progress of writing. And writing is a challenging task, and using AI not to write the book for you,
Yeah.
but to help you do that
Enable
in the
you
most
to write that book.
You know how long, I'm turning 55 in June.
You're a liar.
You know how long I've been dreaming of AI that can help you do your work better, not do the work for you.
For you, yeah.
Maximize your own skills and efforts.
Release the genius. And we've got two geniuses sitting here who I think might get married after this, because there was a very powerful... I'm talking about the assistants, man. I'm not talking about you two. Come on, man. Whether it's to manage your life or your business or everything else, the S24 is there to lend a very helping hand, and to do it in style.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzazi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a show it's been. It's feeling like the weekend already with all the magic happening, and it's only, yes, it's Thursday. Yeah, it is. Now, right now, we're going to keep the spirits going with YouTuber, digital creator, gaming expert, and all-round just incredible guy, Grant Hines.
Whoa!
Yes, you guessed it. The man is here.
What happened?
That's you, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Now listen, the man is here to review what are some are calling a contender for Game of the Year, and it's only March. Yeah, I'm talking about Helldivers 2. Brother, what's happening? Is this anything better than the first one? Firstly,
I didn't play the first one.
Okay,
I'm gonna be
Thanks for your honesty.
I think it's one of those things. Whoa, we've just been thrown into the middle of a firefight with these bugs.
Okay.
This is such an incredible game. It came out of nowhere. I didn't even think it was going to be that good, to be honest with you. It's kind of like Starship Troopers. Do you remember Starship Troopers?
Yes.
So it's this like parody on patriotism and the American dream, where you are a human race colonizing a planet, and you don't belong there.
Clearly, we don't belong here, as we can see from the locals.
And these, and these people are destroying our way of life. That's
how
literally,
dare they?
Yeah, so that's literally like the
premise.
It's a huge game about satire, but it's also a 4-player co-op shooter that is a lot of fun. We're playing with a complete stranger online.
Oh, this is cool. So are you online right now?
We're playing online.
Okay, so this is live. We are online.
So we're playing with a complete stranger. You can play with 3 other friends, so 4 of you.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then as you play the game and you drop onto every one of these missions, as you clear these bugs off the planet, you then upgrade your weapons, and then you can look how cool my character looks, man. He's just got the cape.
Bro, I'm just here for that helmet. It's like...
I had to. When I got it, I was like, I have to put it. This person doesn't even have it on. Like, I don't know why. I just had to put this on. Look, I have to
So this is really cool, because for me, this is the win, especially if you don't have time to always go visit your furthest friend, or you got friends online that aren't even in the same country. You can co-op and do some incredible missions together. Is that what's happening here?
Exactly.
Nice.
And then you can rank up your weapons and you buy new weapons. And then every time you die, you just get another soldier to throw back into battle.
Oh,
see,
so the fun carries on as well.
So like you can, the best part about this game is obviously the gameplay is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just really well thought through and lots of fun. Matches last between 20 and 40 minutes, depending. Oh, I'm trying to get.
Yes, I was asking, is there lots to like interact with on the map as well? Is it pretty static? Or?
There's lots to interact with. Each of these planets are. Am I getting attacked? I am too. Each of these planets. This guy is carrying for me.
Doing all the work.
I'm gonna just put some medicine. Take some medicine. So you have to clear these planets out with bigger and stronger enemies, and they're very interesting little missions and objectives. Not just your static like clear this part.
So you need to grow as you conquer.
You need to get better and stronger and and get that going. But the most exciting thing about this game for me is that it's such a great piece of gaming satire. So it's not only just a great game to play, they decided to make like a commentary about like patriotism and nationalism and what it's like to like, and like you are clearly the bad guys like while you're doing this, like you don't belong on these planets.
I'm a colonizer. Whoa.
You're colonizing these planets, but they make it like funny, like because you realize that you're the bad guy, and you go like it's this funny like self-reflective thing as you play it, going, you know, like maybe these guys don't belong here. Like, you know, this planet was all happy until look at this place. It's getting bombed because we arrived.
And we are
and we're the victims now. You know, like
so would you call this potentially what people are saying as a lineup for one of the games of the year? Is it going that far?
I definitely think so.
Whoa,
so
okay.
I don't think it's going to win the game of the year, but it will definitely be contender, if not the winner for multiplayer game of the year. And it's only March. Remember, this game has just come out. And like, it's just such a game like this only comes around once every couple of years that is this clean and this well thought through. There's battle passes, there's a long line of like fun stuff to do. And these games as a service like products generally are marketed to younger audiences. So they're generally marketed to like kids when they play Fortnite or whatever, not to the whole family. This is a game that I could comfortably play with my daughter. Like, okay, unless she could hold a controller, you know what I mean? Because there's such a cool message in it, like this dude.
Eliminated. Well, on that note, I guess we will call this one and say, wow, thank you for coming through. Thank you for giving us a reason to get hyped up and excited. It looks like this is a contender. And if you, Mzansi, are looking for a B-movie or something incredible to get involved in, then dive into Helldivers right now. It's number 2. It's out now. And clearly, loads of fun for everyone. Grant Hines, thanks for coming through, man. Absolutely love this.
Thank you.
And as he defends his status... He survives. Yes, please, Mzansi. Hope you enjoyed that one. Get in on the gaming action. And again, Grant Hines, thank you so much for coming through, bro. I love it. All right, got to work now. Pull your weight.
Now, I suppose we've got to stay on that epic trend right now, and there is only one way to make an epic pizza even more epic, and that's to fold it in half and make a pizza sandwich out of it. We're going to be sticking to some classic toppings, though, in this space. Sorry, it's probably a trigger warning for some people. Bacon, feta, and avo. So if you love crispy, cheesy, feel-good pizza, then watch along and follow the steps as Kyle makes us a pizza. Now, I'll help you, dude. I will help you.
Yeah, they always call me on the cooking segment.
No, well,
I do love cooking, so that's cool.
And you must, because it's got to be done with love. Okay, so I'm going to work the pizza base, and we've just got...
Get on that.
Our dough is already proven, and it's looking good. I'm always worried that I'm going to just wreck it. Are you like thin base, thick base?
Well, thinnish.
Thin-ish.
Yeah, you want the flavor to come through. If the base is too thick, then it steals
Completely.
everything.
Yeah, man. I like a bit of body. I suppose I like both, but I think, like you say, I like from a textural. Yeah, I'm all about the body, man. From a textural perspective, I also like a nice thin base.
Yes.
Let's not get too much of you on there. And of course, we're not looking for
doesn't have to be
absolute.
too round, you know?
I think this needs to be rustic. I think it needs to. Sorry, this little piece here is getting us.
There's lots of rustic bacons. People always call this pizza like a rustic bacon.
Do you know what it is? In TV land, rustic means that you've messed it up somewhere. And then, but I think that's all right. Nice and flat. And then we are going to put some. I'm going to get you to put the sauce
Should I
on
do
first.
this,
So we're going to first
Okay,
put
let's
some marinara or tomato base on our
That's why
pizza
they made
base.
spoons convex on the other side.
Exactly. Italians designed the pizza and the spoon.
And
I
the
have a
spoon.
feeling. What do you eat, dude? What is your vibe? What is your flavor profile?
I like pastas. I like steak. I love meat. So
I'm with you on that trend, man.
pasta, steak, hamburgers, salad. I also enjoy salads. I like a fresh salad.
You're a healthy
Let's
South
not go
African guy.
Yeah, I'm the typical South African.
I love that. So now this is where the real joy comes in. How are we going to do this?
Put it here. Let's
There we go.
slide them.
Yeah, I know, we don't have a giant pizza skillet underneath this. I should just throw it up and twist it and turn it. Okay, so
Just to
for the
take up
sake
the
of
whole insert.
not ruining this guy, we're going to pop this
Yes.
onto our, obviously our baking tray. You pop it in the oven, 10 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on it because you still want some malleability because we're going to fold it in half once it comes
You don't want
out
it
of the
crispy,
pizza.
crispy, you know? You
It
want a
mustn't
bit
be
of
too
like-
crispy. So the joy here is the ingredients that we are adding. So the beauty here is we've got a beautiful
go.
little sauce, almost a dipping sauce. So that is oil.
Olive oil.
I'm going to go into the mix here.
Olive oil. Some honey. Some
There we go. A
honey.
little bit of honey.
Some chili flakes. I'm just going to hold this while it drips off. Some chili flakes.
And you get some really nice smoked chili flakes at the moment, which is beautiful.
Some salt.
Some salt and
some salt and
some black pepper. I find you need a bit of funkiness and balance. You want a bit of the acidity, yes, but the honey and the garlic adds the funkiness.
And honey's
It
good for
really-
your vocals.
Really, I suppose it coats and lines the vocal cords
And in
as
general
well.
health, honey is really underrated.
It is. And then, of course, we've got our beautiful feta and our bacon and our avo. In fact, I'm going to grab you an avo that you can we can start working on and slicing up here. I'm going to leave that avo for you to start slicing up. There we go. We'll give you one of those guys because this is
where
one of
you
those.
rarely see the like if you have skills.
I
in the
know.
kitchen.
You see how I did a little sidestep there in honor of our Springbok
Can-
women. Just
can
like,
I
yeah. But there's a reason
Oh,
why we as
see.
South Africans love this combo. Feta, bacon, and avo are a match made in heaven. And to make it extra flavorful, we are using the clover black pepper feta.
That's
It
my favorite
is
one.
incredible, bro. It is so, so good. It's going to give the pizza as much flavor as possible, and that's what we are here for. We are not playing around. If you have to add the feta to make it better, that's the way that it goes. So you slice your feta up, and then you pop it into the oven. Once you've got your base out of the oven, you're going to obviously be creating the sandwich vibe. So you want to fill half of the pizza with your ingredients, your bacon, your gorgeous feta, and of course your avo. You see, you're just like me. You slice it in the
You have to, otherwise
in the
it's-
peel and then just
Shoo-whoop.
scoop it out. Absolutely brilliant,
Right,
man.
wait for that.
I love it. And I think this is a way that you can kind of start combining all of the flavors that you love in something that's quite different. And then you've got this beautiful dipping and drizzling sauce to be able to put on as well. So if you can take your love for pizzas to new heights and make this pizza sandwich, and I think it's going to be spectacular. You can get the full recipe online on expressoshow.com if
We
you're
can
going
put
to
the
try
garlic.
this for yourself. Oh, don't forget the garlic,
forget
man.
the garlic. Cheers.
And I would add probably a little bit more heat to the mix here, but I absolutely love this. And you can take a look at our finished product. It is
gonna be like
spectacular. We'll see if we can. The only thing is,
Ours is going to be a bit better. It's going to be less crunchy.
and of course you can't cut it into slices, so you have to eat it
Yeah,
all yourself.
one
man.
time.
And a little bit of honey to coat this guy's vocal cords as well. Kyle is going to be performing again for us in just a moment. You don't have enough time to go make yourself a whole pizza, so just get a cup of coffee. We'll see you now.
From salads to snacks, savor the delight. Clover's feta, smooth and creamy, makes every bite just right.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back one last time. We get to savor this moment with you. So let's talk about the big money. And if you're a sports fan, there's a way that you can level up right now. If you're, for instance, a Diski fanatic, then you could score big, massive, when you play Sports Stake 8 Fixture List 696. Why am I being so specific? Because there is an estimated jackpot over there of over 1.3 million rand today.
That's some good mood. Let's get involved. So how do we do this, right? Listen up. So you can get your head in the game and head to the nationallottery.co.za website to play. And that means you're going to stand a chance to win. Remember, the estimated jackpot of over 1.3 million rand and the bragging rights to be in your game, but only if you play now. Get involved. Wow, I can do it with that money.
Yeah, no, everyone can do with 1.3 million rand, but right now, I'll settle for Kyle. He is here to perform just for us. He has got some amazing new music, a new album on the way. We are on the most incredible trajectory this year with this incredible human being. So good to have him on our studio floor again, performing one last time, just, well, for us and you a little bit.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kyle Deitch. Please hit us up on the socials. This next track is called Hold Your Hand. Let us know what you think. Stay tuned for the album. It's going to be dropping this year. It's called In the Mood. And yeah, enjoy the Thursday.
Hold your hand. Speaking out of turn, that was never my thing. Just an awkward boy in a high-class game. I was happy then, but it ain't the same since I met you. Was it all in vain? Should we throw these thoughts to the highway? Never felt this safe. Is it better this way? You
Expresso, what a morning. Happy Thursday. I'm going to be in Cape Town till Saturday. So
From salads to snacks, savor the delight. Clover's feta, smooth and creamy, makes every bite just right.
Another feel-good production.